This is episode 6 of our Monster of the Week campaign titled Monsters Ain't Real, which is the perfect title for a campaign and system designed around monsters. We have a couple episodes that we've gone through already. They are up on VODs as well as on my YouTube, which has a bad URL, as Venalis yelled at me about the other day. So if you want to catch up with any of the if this episode is so damn entertaining that you're like, I want to get more of this, I got my YouTube and my VODs. You can catch up there. What else? What else am I missing? What else should I say at the introduction? I'm so caught off guard. What else am I missing, guys?
You might want to talk about your weird hands.
That's not a thing that we're going to talk about.
Anyone who hasn't been here before.
Oh my god.
My brother has weird, deformed little baby hands.
What the fuck?
Like, it's not a medical condition, but it's a physiological condition. It's weird, fucking tiny, gross little hands, little gremlin hands.
How does it get worse every time? It's like every time you talk about my hands, they've somehow gotten even more
shrunk.
Disgusting.
They shrink by 15% each time.
Each time you talk about them, the hands get a little bit smaller.
And because of that, you can't really read traditional books, can you?
Yeah.
So we'd like to thank our sponsors at audible.com.
Oh my god. Fuck you guys.
I'm gonna try week 17 of trying to change my profile.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand why that is so fucking difficult for you guys.
It just does not change. I do not here. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna show you this shit. Oh wait, first I'm gonna check it and see if it actually works, because knowing my luck, it's gonna work today, and then I'm gonna feel like a fucking idiot.
Yep. Well.
Can't find the artwork. There it is. Nope.
What the fuck, man?
Like I've changed my profile before. Like, here, I'm gonna fucking show you this shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna here we go. Change image. Choose profile. All right. And then I'm gonna find it. Hold on. I'm finding it.
Yep.
And then it just does that. And when I say just does that, I'm making a GIF of it and I'm showing it.
Okay. Okay.
This is what happens every single time I try to do it.
All right, let's see this. Okay, choose file. Yeah. All right.
I've left it overnight. I've tried different browsers. I've tried different computers. It just does not change.
Okay, because sometimes it takes a little while. I was gonna say you just need to leave it, but if you've left it, then I don't fucking know, man.
I will leave it once again this entire run and see what happens.
All right. Well, at least now I believe you. I don't think you're a big, dirty, filthy liar set out to just sabotage me.
Yeah, I'm not Milton. Come on.
Whoa, wait, hold on. What?
What's your profile picture look like? Yeah, I just provided proof of mine.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? I don't know. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay. I think we've done enough tiddly fucking around. And I think we can pretty much start with the recap. And then dive in. So I'm going to miss huge swaths of actual content because I can't just update everything that's ever happened, or else we would just go through those episodes again. So a very brief recap is you guys met a man named Tom down in a mine shaft. And it turns out that he is a weaver of a substance called ink, which is kind of like the Force, but isn't the Force because that's super trademarked. Tom told you that magic is real and that monsters ain't real, even though they kind of are. You went and you met the sheriff and one of his troopers, not the deputy. I need to make that clear. If you ever thought that Kirby was the deputy, he's not. He's literally just another one of the troopers. So you met one of his troopers, Kirby. And basically, they kind of dole out these missions to go hunt the quote-unquote monsters. The first one that you hunted was a monkey that sucked up electricity and then spat it out. And through some sleuthing, you found out that this electricity was being sent to an island in the middle of the Grey Water, which is a caustic, nasty lake on the east side of town. You learned that a weaver named Demorsol Lavingre was using these electric monkeys and genius doctors, both of which are entirely fabricated using ink, to try to make what he called Frankensteins. They were actually Frankenstein's monsters, but it seems like they were pretty set on.
As a really quick and related side note,
Yeah.
if you think about it, Frankenstein really was the monster.
That's true. Frankenstein really was the monster. He absolutely was, though.
He was trying to make a monster. He is the fucking monster, right? How deep is that?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give my English degree back. Be like, you know what? I am sorry.
All right. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so he was trying to make these Frankensteins.
So he's trying to make these Frankensteins. You kicked in the door, which alerted him to your presence. He had this big umbrella cane, which he blasted you guys with a huge amount of lightning. And then as you ran, you magically displaced him. Through a use of Lou's tune-in ability, you learned that he is way to the north of his tower. You then later found Dr. Ick, who is an escaped doctor familiar, hiding out under the tower. And you brought Dr. Ick back to Tom in hopes that Tom could turn an entirely magical construct into a real person. You then, upon returning to the tower, found out that someone named Hutch was helping Demersol. And after recognizing that Demersol was far away, made Hutch your next target. And Hutch was found at the Nash Club, Steve Sports' Nash Club, way too easily. Way fucking too easily. I literally cannot stress that enough. I gave you guys a needle in a needle stack. If you had walked around a bit, you would have realized that the description that you had of Hutch matched literally every other fucking person in the club. But no, you used Lou's magic eyeball and you just looked straight at Hutch and you say, oh, there he is. So you bypassed 5 different paths of breadcrumbs that I had available to identify who he was. Then you bypassed any and all potential interactions with the rich tapestry of NPCs I had available, opting to instead flatten him like Wile E. Coyote with an anvil right in the middle of the fucking bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
He took a couple shots with his revolver, and then he rolled away, and he seemed to just vanish when he rolled. As soon as there was this crash and gunshots, a figure appeared from behind the bar, a door behind the bar. It was an individual wearing biker shorts, wraparound sunglasses, tight white t-shirt with red trim on the collar and sleeves, gelled back frosted tip hair, and he came out with a big smile on his face, chewing some gum. You could see some scarring coming down from his right eye, both below and above the sunglasses. And this isn't like a line scar. It looks like melted face. He came in the last thing that happened was this individual came in and he said, well, folks, I think we have a problem. And before we get started, I'm going to adjust something because this is important. I don't remember how much damage I said the gun did. I think it was like 2 or 3 harm. But the way that it works is if you take 4 harm, that means you need hospitalization. And usually if you get shot with a gun, no matter where, you need hospitalization. So guns now deal 4 harm, just so you guys understand the kind of playing field that you're playing on. The guns in here deal 4 harm per shot. And with that,
don't get shot is the objective.
well, I'm just
Like we do want to get shot still though, right?
Time to buy some guns, y'all.
oh my god.
That's the answer, yeah.
Okay, they're good. Okay, great. So that's where we're at then. So we'll move back into the bar. And now there were people in the bar and they were mostly just there for flavor before, but they're about to become a whole lot more mechanical. So I figured I'd actually put some people on the playing field. Now they're not all actually Hutch. They're just people that generally fit Hutch's description. They're rough and tumble, hairy-faced people with black teeth and cowboy hats, of varying shapes and sizes and genders. I just wanted to put tokens on the battlefield so that you guys understood how many people are in here. Because when this individual walked in from behind the bar, he made a... Oh, actually, you know what? Just one sec. I got some music for this. It's the Nash bar.
Swagger.
It's the Nash bar, y'all. Sorry, the Nash Club.
Steve Sports Nash Club.
Steve Sports' Nash Club. So you guys are hanging out in the Nash Club, and this individual walks out from behind the bar. And as he does, he makes a very small hand gesture, and two very large individuals kind of move up behind Slump and Galdrick. Galdrick is riding on Slump's shoulders. They're not making any aggressive moves. They're just very obviously standing between you and the exit. And you hear the clicking and cocking of guns. A lot of guns. In fact, a D&D perception check would say it sounds like around 30 to 50 guns.
Oh my God.
So that's why I wanted to make it clear that the guns deal 4 harm per shot. And you're hearing 30 to 50 guns all being in some state of readiness as everyone in the bar has become relatively silent. The music is still going. The TVs are still very loud as that sport is still raging on in the background. But the people, that shouting, the arguing, the laughing has all stopped. And everyone is shifting in their seats a little bit as they look over in the direction of the incredible commotion that has just transpired around 2 strangers that just walked into the Nash Club. And that individual with the wraparound sunglasses it should play again. Okay, good.
Nice.
That individual who just said, well, folks, I think we have a problem. He kind of walks a bit closer, right up to where there's a giant blood smear on the ground where Hutch used to be. And he says, well now, would you guys kindly explain to me what the hell is going on before everyone in here fills you full of friggin' laser beams? Hi. So what the hell's going on here?
My name's Galdrick. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Steve Sports. I own this place.
Oh, this is a lovely establishment you have here.
Yeah, I thought so too. Until a couple of individuals who I'm sorry, I don't recognize either of you at all, came in here and assaulted one of my patrons. And right now I'm kind of inclined to let everyone here just turn you into laser Swiss cheese. And I'm wondering what the fuck is going on.
Oh, I wouldn't really worry about doing that. That would be a bad idea. Coming from me, obviously. That's a lot of laser beams. He was being a little too rowdy.
Would we have any other paperwork from the sheriff or from
you want to pull a Django Unchained on him? I have a bill right here, dead or alive.
anything that we could just be like, the sheriff sent us, and just flash paperwork. I don't know if we have anything aside from those requisition forms.
No, you have the requisition forms from the sheriff. The only other paperwork that you have identifying Hutch as who he is or where he might be is the papers that you found at the tower, which was basically correspondence. So you don't have any kind of any sort of bill to say that you need them. But
okay.
Steve, Mr. Sports says, I'll tell you what, I think you guys are making the rest of the patrons a little uneasy. So why don't you come on back into my VIP room? I'll give you guys a little attitude adjustment back there. We'll have a talk, and then you can come on out here and be, you know, maybe not crazy fucking psychopaths that kill people.
As soon as he said that, Slump looks at Galdrick and claps his huge hands very softly and goes, VIP, Mr.
No,
T.
stop. No, stop that. That's not. He said attitude adjustment. That means he's gonna try to hurt you back there.
Oh, Slump don't like that at all.
Oh
Yeah.
oh no, please don't miss it. I'm not gonna hurt you at all. No.
I scratched behind his ear. Listen, I take it you, as a respectable man, you're a law-abiding citizen, I assume, right?
I mean, let's not kid
I
ourselves.
kinda like extend my arms from side to side. I'm like, right, you're obviously law-abiding.
I abide some laws, sure. You know what I'll say? I'll say that the law and I have an agreement.
Good. Because the law and us also have an agreement. You see, this I kind of like wave my hand like to so I could whisper him a little closer. You know, like, hey, come here, talk to you.
Yeah, he very half-heartedly leans in, like maybe another 3 inches.
You remember those blackouts that were happening like crazy throughout the city?
Yeah.
I kind of point a finger down. I go, that was responsible. I know it sounds crazy.
Wait, but the power outages stopped, and Hutch has been coming here for a long time.
Yes, he has. That's because we already foiled some of his dubious. Wait, you just referred to him as Hutch.
Yeah, that was Hutch. Of course I know Hutch. He's comes in here all the fucking time.
Fantastic. Actually, I think we will go to your VIP, and I want to like reach into my pocket, kind of like looking for like a notepad or something like that. We're actually have a few questions for you then on behalf of the sheriff, actually.
Well, that just sounds fantastic. And he kind of leads you guys around the bar. He does not know who Jake is. He gives Jake a side eye because he doesn't recognize him as another stranger, but Jake hasn't done anything, so he basically thinks he's just a new patron. He leads you guys around the bar and then through this door back here. And you guys are now in the VIP room, which is actually just the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay.
And one of the very large individuals kind of follows you in and just stands by the door so that you can't run out. And the other one is still hanging out by the pile of mashed strawberry jelly that was Hutch.
Okay.
And when you guys get back there, he takes off his wraparound sunglasses. And one eye is fully bionic, not the one with the scar. It's just the one that would be a normal eye with no scarring is just a fully bionic exposed metal eyeball with red lights on it. The other eye has no eye. It is an ugly scar, a really, really ugly scar. To try to get the image across, I described it as, imagine someone drove a railroad spike into an eye socket, and then the railroad spike exploded. That's what this scar looks like instead of a right eyeball. So his left eye is bionic and his right eye is an railroad spike exploded mess. And when you guys get back there, he says, oh, okay then, all right. So this is basically gonna go one of two ways. I think I know which way it's gonna go. I'm either gonna have to kill you or I'm not. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to kill you because I really don't think I can let you guys go back out there, but why don't we have a chat? You said you had some questions. Why don't you start? You ask old Mr. Sports some questions, and we'll see what the fuck is going on. Because I'm pretty sure, you guys probably only have another 15 minutes to live or so.
Wow, that's fantastic. Slump. Be good. I scratch behind his ear.
Slump, like you can see his eyes sort of roll back a little bit as his ear is being scratched, but you can see he's just staring at this guy, and he's staring at Steve, and you can hear his knuckles crack.
You can see his eye almost kind of split in half as one part of it stays locked on Galdrick, and the other half kind of moves down to look at Slump's knuckles.
Oh God.
Well, that's one way to start a conversation.
I run a very upfront establishment here. I house a lot of unsavory folks, some criminals, some murderers, some thieves, some smugglers, and they just want to come here, chew some fucking Nash, watch the game, and not be bothered. We don't ask any questions. They don't tell us any answers. Everyone just comes here to in a mutually understood to be safe haven. So when anyone comes in here and assaults one, we got a problem.
Oh, okay. Well, I can absolutely respect your very upfront nature. May I be upfront as well?
Absolutely. I would prefer if you guys choose to not lie to me, because I don't think that's going to end well.
Fantastic. Great. So here's what's actually gonna happen.
Okay.
Either number one, we will leave here. You and I can walk out of this room together as friends. Or you will never walk out of this room again.
I understand. If I appreciate that. That's very candid of you to say that. But if you thought this was the first time a tough guy threatened to kill or mutilate me, you'd be sadly mistaken. And I mean, I guess I would die knowing that some dumbass finally thought they were hot shit enough to take on old Steve Sports and actually beat him. But I mean, you wouldn't make it very far, because I got a lot of friends out there who are going to be asking. Well, you know what? They're not going to be asking questions at all. They're just going to be shooting. I see. I absolutely see your point there. So
Slump looks at him and says, "Hey, Mr. Freaky Eyeball Man, you afraid to die?"
Well, I will say that dying is not. I don't want to die. I don't go looking for death, but I didn't open up my Nash bar without understanding that there was a good chance it was going to happen.
Good, because you go first.
Yeah. All right, that I got you. I mean, I see what you did to Hutch out there. I'm not excited to get flattened. Not looking forward to that.
Mr. Poof Man got to vanish. Slump gonna eat what's inside of you.
Yeah, I know. We'll let you. If it comes to that, you can eat this one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now listen. Like I said, we can either leave here as friends, or you won't leave here at all.
Okay. Yeah.
There's two reasons why I know that will happen. I'm a part of the plot line. You're not. Now.
Okay. You know what? Hey, can I just say something? Strong argument. Strong argument.
Now, also, I wasn't kidding when I said we were here on behalf of the sheriff. Little old Hutch out there is in fact responsible for these power outages that have been happening, and I'm sure those have disrupted your business here more than we ever could have.
I mean, well, okay, so here's the problem though, is that Hutch was often in here when those power outages were happening, and I don't think anyone got as upset as he did. He lives and breathes for those fucking howlers, man. It's I have had to have him escorted out of here because he gets real fucking rowdy when it comes to those howlers. So to have his howlers games interrupted by those power outages just doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't understand that.
Listen. Now, I'm gonna take a leap of faith on you. You know why? Because I like you, and I don't remember your name anymore.
It's Steve Sports. It's my Nash club.
Okay, Nash. Listen, you need to realize that what I'm about to tell you is very sensitive information, and we couldn't get you killed faster than we could ever kill you. Does that make this clear?
All right. I mean, okay.
No.
Not usually a big fan. Not usually a big fan of information. I don't ask any questions because I don't want to have that kind of information.
Gotcha. So then you can have one of two choices. You can either, well, we can tussle, you will lose, or I can tell you the information that you don't want to know, which would make us friends.
Why don't you roll to manipulate someone? Why don't you roll to manipulate someone? We'll see how this pans out. I think the argument is strong enough, and we'll just see whether or not he buys it. So you are going to roll plus charm. Which I think for you is like a +1 or a +2 or something.
It's a +1, 9.
9. All right, mixed success. On a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. If you asked too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. He says, okay, I'll tell you what. If you really want to be friends and you really want to help me out, then I'm game to listen and also not go the route of kill you right now, but I want Big Man to leave the room.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And I would like to cast out evil, and I want to make the big guy that's standing at the door vanish.
Okay, all right, that's a roll. Oh shit. What's a mixed success on cast out? That just does it, doesn't it?
Let's see. Sarah's takes a little while for the banishing to take effect. The creature has time to make 1 or 2 actions. Either way, the banished creature is unharmed.
Okay, so you kind of
like, all right, hold on. I want to just be like, all right, yeah, of course. And I kind of like, I clap my hands and I like look at the guy and I just kind of like, ooh, you're a big one.
So as you're like straining, he kind of like raises an eyebrow at you and he just kind of stares at you, and then he goes to pick his nose. And then as his finger gets halfway up his nose, he just kind of starts to dematerialize.
I don't feel so well.
I don't feel so well, Mr. Galdrick. Then yeah, he just disappears. And Steve,
I look back at Nash and I say, okay, he's gone. Continue.
Steve immediately puts his hand on his 2 revolvers on his hips. They're not drawn, but he puts his hands on them and takes a step back. And he says, "What the fuck was that? What did you just do?"
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you. All right, listen. I can tell you. We're friends. Calm down. I'm an angel of my word. Okay. Now,
hold on. Whoa, just a second. What the fuck is happening? You're a what?
I want to take both of my eyes and just pop them out so he sees like the ethereal mist like coming out of my skull.
He takes his hands away from his pistols and he kind of raises them in the air. And he says, "Holy fuck, man. Holy shit. Holy fuck. What the hell? What do you want?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?"
How are you?
Not great now. Not great.
Do you want one? It looks like you could use one. I kind of hold one towards him.
That's okay. The one I got does more than the job of 2, but let's just say I'm all ears now. I am.
Right.
You have my fucking attention.
Sounds good. Well, the person out there really was involved with those things. They were under his orders. You see, he's kind of a mastermind, if believe it or not. He kind of plays dumb a large portion of the time in a very large conspiracy, which is unfortunately true. I won't go into too much details and bore you, but he's into some really bad shit. And we've been assigned to take care of this issue. Yeah. What information can you give us about Hutch so we can find him and finish the job? Because I don't know if you noticed or not, but there's a giant pool of blood out there, but Hutch's body isn't out there. That's because he just manifested himself away. There are things going on here that are way beyond your comprehension.
He goes and he kind of half sits on the counter where the food is being prepped, kind of holding himself up with his arms. And he is very obviously reeling from this information. He kind of puts one hand on his forehead and kind of pushes his gelled hair back a little bit as he's very obviously lost in thought. And he says, "Holy fuck. I mean, I assume every single guy out there is doing some bad shit. People don't come to a shitty place like this if they can go somewhere nicer. But I had no fucking clue. Hutch was... I just assumed he ran away. You're saying he vanished?
No, he did not run away. There's no way to really tell you without putting you at more risk. So I will say he vanished. That's the easiest way to go about this.
Holy shit. Okay, well... Oh, man. So... I don't know what I should and shouldn't tell you, because on the one hand, I feel like so can you die? If I shot you, would you even die?
Well, this vessel would, but I would maybe I could come back and I could take your body. I could do that if you'd like.
Gotcha. All right. No, point taken. Oh my God. Okay. So here's the problem though. If I tell you, if word gets out that I've been telling any information about the people that come in here, it's going to be bad for me. It's going to be real bad. Information doesn't flow in this place.
Yeah, definitely. And I hear you there. Now, let me counter you, which is why you bringing us back here and demanding information is probably the worst thing you could have done. Because now that you know that Hutch is a little bit on the really evil side, he isn't the type that takes somebody's purse. He's the guy that, I don't know, takes a bunch of people out of the city and kills them and then tries to reanimate them into zombies.
Holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
What the
I shouldn't have told you that. I just put him in more danger, Slump. Oh my God, how could I do that?
Holy fuck, you guys. What the hell? This is
okay.
Yeah, hold on. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's bad. So anyways, now I want you to know that, and I kind of want to point around, to the, look around the room, but obviously there's no cameras or anything like that. I just want to look around.
Yeah.
There are no cameras here, but they already know that they're watching.
Holy fuck.
So we know that Hutch has something to, and I looked at it at Slump, I say to the north, right? That's where he was. He was residing in the north or something like that. Now,
Slump goes,
Now, we either find him or he finds you. Whichever one happens first, it's going to be bad.
Okay. You know what? I'm sold. Okay. Now, bad news is I don't know where Hutch lives. We're not on a friendly chat basis. I don't even remember how I learned his stupid fucking name. By the way, stupid name. Hutch.
Obviously.
Dumbass name.
Stupid.
Why I thought he was a stupid man. I know he's loud, he's angry, he loves the howlers. Whenever he comes in, he's covered in fucking dirt. I don't know where he lives or what he lives in or what he does for a living, but dude is fucking covered in dirt.
What color dirt?
Dark, deep dirt, and it when he doesn't smell like fucking Nash or booze, he smells a little bit like gunpowder. Like old musty gunpowder. This ain't fresh shit. It's like he's found a big old wet bunch of fucking gunpowder that he rolls around in.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know.
And his
That's good-
boots
that's good
are fucking disgustingly muddy. This is not a clean place by any stretch of the imagination, but whenever Hutch comes in, he tracks ungodly amounts of fucking mud and dirt into this fucking place. Enough that I can see it.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Would
That's-
you mind if we snooped around in the main room for a few things?
Okay, so at this point, I don't mind, but
But they might mind.
they're gonna
Yeah.
mind, and they're gonna shoot before they ask questions.
Gotcha. Is there a back way out here then?
I mean, if you guys just leave, I'll spin the story that I set you straight and that you're not coming in here anymore, and you know that should be fine. So you should be okay to just leave. But you know,
Okay, I don't want to have to remove all of your patrons.
I would like to
lower my
not.
chin as in-
Yeah, I would love it if you didn't do that too.
All right. So you can go ahead and tell them that Hutch banged your mom. I don't really care what you have to tell them to make it seem like what we did was okay. But if loss of life is going to happen today, I'd rather not. Oh, by the way, your friend back here, I didn't kill him, by the way. I just moved him to the middle of the city. He's going to be lost for a little bit, but he'll make his way back.
Okay. Oh my God.
Little
All
courtesy.
right.
Little courtesy.
I appreciate that. I
I
want
could
to.
have put him in the middle of a volcano if you wanted.
Holy fuck! You can do that?
Yeah.
What the? Wait. Okay. How many of you are there?
I can't answer that.
That makes sense. You know what? I don't want to know.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get on out of here. All right.
All right. Yep. Go right ahead. There will be no
All right.
more trouble from us.
Fantastic. I love you, Nash.
It's Steve Sports.
Hi, Nash. I want to
Okay. Yep.
I want to like turn slump. I want to like grab his, grab his head and just be like, all right, let's go this way.
All right, sounds good.
And I want to be on our way out. I want to say, Slump, go to where we smashed Hutch.
Okay,
And I
Slump like takes him there.
Okay. And I want to find any of this, just like as we're passing by, I'm trying to like make it as smooth as we can.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's any dirt or any anything like that. Any dirt, anything.
Yeah, there's definitely two big muddy boot prints where his feet were before he was smashed. The shards of the chair that he was sitting on are covered in dirt. And if you were to roll a really high D&D perception check, you would smell very, very faint, old, musty gunpowder.
Fantastic. Slump, grab that mud pile right. Just grab don't eat it yet.
Snack.
Not yet.
Snack.
Okay, we can have one puddle as a snack, one puddle as we need it. Just grab it.
He's like slurping the dirt off the floor.
Disgusting.
Picks it up in the other pile and puts it in his noodle pocket.
Yuck.
Okay, that's okay. Let's go. I kind of look at Jake and Lou, and I'm just like, I point towards the front door.
All right, so Lou is already hanging out at the front door. And in fact, Lou, as you're standing there by the front door, kind of you hear this like rustling and cracking and splintering of imagine a garbage compactor full of Lego. And you look over here and you see this enormous man materialize in the middle of the gashapon, crushing all of the candy things on the inside.
Oh no!
And he's got a very confused look on his face.
Those poor candies.
All right, so
I go, and I run over to him and I see if he's okay. Kind of tap on the glass. Sir.
he doesn't say anything, but he kind of like smiles this very gap tooth, missing teeth kind of smile, and does a thumbs up.
Oh, okay, all right. I like if there's a flap where the things come out of, the candies get dispensed out of. I want to like prop it open so he has some air.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, hun. Good luck.
Bye.
While Goldrick and Slump were back there, I wanted to walk outside and go around to where the kitchen would be, looking for like gas lines, pumps, like anything that would be like infrastructure attachments. That's not the word. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh yeah, no,
attached
there's
to the kitchen.
absolutely, yeah. There's gas lines, there's electricity lines, there's vents, there's all kinds of shit.
Okay. And are there any windows or doors aside from like the main entrance?
There are a couple windows at like the main lobby area, but as for the interior, there are no windows that look on the interior of the building.
Okay. And then I guess
Gloomy.
if I had a text contact to the sheriff or to Kirby, I would just let them know that if they wanted to bring like whatever the space equivalent of a SWAT team is, that there are like, 30 plus random criminals in this building with one exit.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Just sort of see if they text back, and we'll leave it at that.
You get a text back from Kirby. You don't have the sheriff's number, but you get a text back from Kirby that basically says, K.
Why would he type out Kirby?
Do they know about the Nash Club?
What was that?
Like, do they know about the Nash Club? Is it sort of like a thing they know about, but they're like, whatever? Or is this not on law enforcement radar?
I don't think you know that yet.
Well, I will text
Such a
Kirby
cryptic answer.
and be like, hey, Kirby, do you guys know about the Nash Club? ? Send emoji, send.
You get back. I don't know how to answer that. Do you get another text back saying I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to answer that, but we're friends? And then he says, I don't want to say that we don't not know about it, but I also don't not want to say that we do know about it.
Slump throws up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll send him like 3 or 4 of the like okay finger emojis, followed by like 2 fire emojis and one of the gravestone emojis.
Ooh.
You get back a strawberry, and then he says, sorry, K, thanks.
All right,
Kirby
we're
is too
good.
pure for this world.
Freaking love that guy. So okay. I was gonna say, like, would we? That was so much time while they were back there that I think we would have maybe done some stuff, but maybe we didn't know. But it's already done.
I mean, if you want to say that you so essentially Jake was around kind of scoping around the building, and there were definitely huge dumpsters where potentially a secret door could be. So if you were looking for that, that may exist behind giant dumpsters, but you don't know. There's big dumpsters in the way.
One of those dumpster doors.
One of those
Would you
dumpster
like
doors.
me to like roll some sort of investigation thing while I was poking around outside?
Yeah, sure. Roll to investigate a mystery,
Okay.
which is plus sharp.
So I get
Holy
10
shit.
plus hold 2.
Yeah, so you can ask 2 questions.
Well, what is being concealed here?
A door.
Dope.
Damn it.
So there's that. So the thing, it has to be narrative. So I will say that as you're around the back and you see all these pipes and tubes and electrical conduits going in, you notice a couple dumpsters, and they are huge, and they are like, you can't just roll them out of the way, which is like your first sign that something's kind of weird. because usually dumpsters, if you give them enough of a push, they'll move, and these fucking don't. So kind of, you have to lay on the ground, which is kind of wet and kind of gross, a little bit of that garbage water, as you're kind of like laying down on one shoulder. You look underneath and you see the definite seam against the wall of a door, and you can tell that there's some sort of a hatch that opens behind the dumpster.
Dumpsters are moved by some kind of mechanism, or are they just really fucking heavy?
I will say you gather that it must be a mechanism. Like these are like bolted into the fucking ground. Like they don't move. Yeah. And then I guess you can ask another question if you want.
Fuck.
It's not a great roll for is there a door here, because the answer is just yes, and I don't know what the next question would be.
Essentially, what I want to know is, given all these utilities out here, if we blocked the doors and lit this on fire, what would happen? So what can hurt it?
Yeah. Like you want to know, like, can you make the door unusable?
No, I guess like all the attachments going into like the kitchen or like the back of the bar or any of that stuff. Like, could I bust up like their fucking gas tube and like jam one of my flamethrower canisters in there and just light the fucking building on fire?
Yeah. If you were to ignite the gas line, it would blow up in the kitchen and definitely cause a fire.
All right, cool. That's not foreshadowing at all. We're good.
All right. So that's what Jake was doing while that conversation was happening. Lou, did you want to do anything?
Did I hear all the kerfuffle with Hutch happen?
You were at the front door, so I will say that you heard a smash and a couple gunshots, like a thunderous crash, and then a couple gunshots.
I would have gone up to the door and just kind of peeked around to see what I could see at that point. I guess I would have seen, if the sightline works, I would have seen Galdrick and Slump go. No?
Okay, no, that's very interesting, because there was something that you could see, only you could see. And what I will say is, because you were using your third eye to look for Hutch, and I'll say the third eye was still kind of open when you went to look there again. And basically,
it takes a while to close it.
It takes a little while to turn it off. And what you saw as you heard the gunshots and you got over there was probably just in time to see it's like a zipper made of ink that was closing up. And as it was closing, you saw a TV and a lazy boy.
So it was
as you looked through it
through the open. Yeah,
exactly. As you looked through the open zipper, you saw a TV and a lazy boy.
Did I see anyone going through that zipper? Did I see that it was Hutch?
Yeah, I will say that you saw someone actively rolling through it.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wanted to do during that time?
What's the look of the people at this table that's closest to the door?
I will say that kind of no matter who it is, they all look angry. They all look violent. They all look like vagabonds and thieves and murderers. And now they look very angry, and they're kind of motioning towards their guns, looking at the commotion.
This is tough because I already know the outcome is that Galdrick and Slump are okay.
Well, like as you look, because basically Steve Sports showed up as soon as that happened. So you saw Steve Sports show up from the back, and then you could have kind of watched them leave with Steve Sports into the back room.
Yeah, but then I would think that they were gonna get like murdered, super duper murdered in the back room.
Well, to help make your decision.
At that point, I would have walked by and asked you if you want to burn the place down.
That's true. Yeah, okay. Okay, so then that makes sense. Then I went with Jake to investigate those utility plugins or whatever.
Okay, so I will say that as Jake left, and Jake was very focused on this, Jake, I'm kind of imagining you kind of talking about what you want to look for and what your ideas are, and you're so focused that you don't recognize that Lou didn't follow you. Because Lou, as you're following Jake, one sec.
Oh.
Don't tell me it's freaky greedy eyeball, man. He's
I
gonna
know.
warp you
I'm like,
into
I'm
his
trying to look at
crazy-
Neil's expression, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't
he's
like
teleporting
I'm
it.
into his
Paradox.
creepy sex dungeon.
Don't. Don't.
Oh, you might need to turn it up a bit, the music monster.
Very spooky. Oh, what's happening?
Yeah, turn up music monster.
No, don't think I will.
So Lou, you get about halfway through the lobby when your third eye, it doesn't close as it's supposed to do by now, and instead you see a very familiar figure standing in front of you. And he's got his fingers crossed, held in front of his face, that blurry face that you can't see, with that wide open eye leaking that red liquid. And he says to you, I know that you're busy, and I know that you can't talk, but I am sick of waiting.
Oh,
So I am going to have to test now. And this may hurt, but I need you to suck it up and not show it, or I need you to explain it away. Because I can't have people looking for me, but at the same time, I need my end of the bargain held up.
oh my God.
And he still has that one hand held in front of his face with the fingers crossed. But his other hand reaches out towards you. And it's only now that he reaches for you, you realize that his fingers are too long. They're like pulled and stretched, and his whole hand is kind of stretched and pulled. It's freakishly long. And as his hand moves towards you, it's profusely leaking that red liquid.
Can I? Jeepers.
Oh, you're in actual hell now.
Like, can I kind of just duck away from him and
Yeah,
be like, wait?
yeah, you move away, and he kind of moves closer to you, not quickly, but slowly. And he says, we had a deal.
You gotta tell me what you're gonna do before you just. You can't just. You gotta tell me. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to take some ink because I need to test an experiment. But I need more than just a little, and it may hurt.
Alright, well, fuck. Informed consent, dummy. Sure, just take some from here.
I need it from your hand.
I hold out my hand.
You hold out your hand, and your hand is dripping just a little bit of the ink, just a little bit. Because you're not a weaver, you don't drip a whole bunch of ink from your hand, just like a normal person gives off a little bit. And his weird, long fingers.
I can see my own ink, right?
Yes, you can, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Thanks.
Yeah, and like if you were to look in a mirror, you would see a lot of ink coming from your third eye. That's where the actual ink is coming from you. Your hand is just basically a normal hand, yeah. And as he approaches you, his long hand with the very long fingers comes out towards your hand, and it never touches your hand. Instead, it very delicately grabs one of the small drips coming from one of your fingers. And
Can I ask? I'm so sorry. Can I ask you a question about his hand?
yep.
Does it look like the whole thing is a hand, or is it like fingers and then like energy extenders from the thing, or is it like the whole thing is a physical hand and it's just weirdly shaped?
Oh no, it's a whole hand. It definitely just a regular hand. It just looks very long and stretched out.
Okay, all right. Yikes.
Yeah. And the kind of middle and index finger kind of very gently grab a drip of ink between them. And when they do, that drip doesn't fall. And then he kind of twists his hand a little bit, and that little tendril of ink wraps around one of his fingers. And one thing that you notice is as he pulls it back and this small string of ink starts coming out of your hand, the red ink coming from his hand just passes through the white ink in your hand. It's completely phased. They don't interact whatsoever. It's like one isn't there for the other. So as the drips fall and would hit the white ink, nothing happens. And then he kind of winds this small tendril of white ink around his finger. And when he was looking up at you before, now you can see he's looking down at the hand that he's winding this small amount of ink around. And then he looks up back at you. And you can't see his face, but once again, just like before, you can tell by the way the air is passing through his mouth, the way it's passing through teeth, that he's got a big smile. Then he tightens his fingers into a fist, and he gives a very hard yank. And this huge pool of ink comes gushing out of your arm, all the way up to the shoulder. This giant gout of ink comes flowing and gushing out of your arm. And there is this incredible pain. It's like someone is tearing your whole arm off. And this giant gout of ink kind of falls. And as it does, he lowers his hand that was in front of his face, and he starts kind of ravenously scooping up the ink, and he kind of rolls it into a big ball until he's got this big ball of white ink through which all this red liquid is kind of falling through. It's not interacting. No part of the physicality of him is interacting with this big ball of white ink other than the actual physical part of him. And then he says, all right, that was the cost of the small favor I did you.
What are you gonna do with that?
I tell you what, after I've done it, maybe we can talk. But nothing that we do is for free. And with that, your eye closes, and you are left with first of all, you feel unbelievably drained. You feel unbelievably drained, and your arm, it feels like it was burned. It doesn't feel like it's actively on fire, but it feels like a recovering third-degree burn, where it feels like it's been absolutely mutilated.
Are there any benches in this lobby area?
Yeah, I'll say there's like a bench here and a bench here kind of thing.
Yeah, I sit on one of those.
And when you do, you hear that voice like fire say, remember, the other half of the deal was that you cover for me.
Oh, that's the worst part of the deal. I did forget about that. I did forget. Bad. bad.
And I will say now we are all caught up. Jake has looked at the back. Lou has had her encounter. And Galdrick and Slump have got their information from Steve Sports. And what would you guys like to do now?
I guess we'll continue making our way, at least me and Slump, after we get the mud, we'll make our way towards the exit.
Yep.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, we had another mission from Kirby that I think got backburnered pretty fucking hard. I'm trying to remember. It was like a mine and howling, and we assumed it was like werewolves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kirby told you that there was like howling at the mines, and that nobody investigated what it was, but they just assumed it was monsters. And he didn't know. Maybe it's werewolves. Maybe he doesn't know. But nobody's checked it out. They just heard howling. They assumed monsters, and they went for the monster squad.
Okay.
What are we planning on doing with the mud? Are we gonna bring it back to Todd, Jake, Jork,
Tom. How does literally no one remember his name?
Oh,
My
fuck that
God.
guy.
It's too
Tommy?
generic.
It's Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy, old Tommy.
Gotta take it to the lab.
Well, I was going to. Okay, with the mud, I wanted to do two things with it. One, I wanted to try immediately while it was fresh. The portion of it that he ate. I want to look at Slump and say, could you will you be able to remember exactly what that tastes like?
Oh yeah, Slump never forgets a taste.
I want to essentially turn Slump into a bloodhound.
It's fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Yep, sounds good.
All right, now he walked that in here, Slump.
Uh-huh.
Take a little bit out of your noodle pocket
Uh-huh.
and smell it.
Gross.
Yeah. Can you smell where it came from? That's what I want to like.
Good question, Cat.
Yeah.
Can I keep her?
I will say yes, but the answer is not what you wanted, because Hutch did not just go from point A to point B. Hutch did a couple things. So basically, it's going many places in town. You can see some going off to the left, some going off to the right, some going off ahead of you, some going off to different directions, all over the place. Hutch definitely walked around quite a bit. I can definitely tell you the locations.
Sure.
What do you think?
Okay, so the locations are let's see, where the hell is it? I got a lot. So there are some leading out of town towards the docks, like in the direction of the docks and the lake and the tower kind of thing. Okay. There are some, where's the name of the, there are some going to the Shining Moon Hotel.
Interesting.
There are some going to the Motherlode Bar. There are some going to the police station.
That one's interesting.
And let's see. There are some other places, but a lot of it doubles back on itself. So a lot of it you can't get a clear direction on. Like, he didn't just go from, it's not like he went to the hotel, then to the police station, then to the docks. Like, it's doubling back on itself, and some of it leads out of town in other directions as well. But of the places in town, those are the locations that you can kind of tell.
And one of those was the police station, like
One
the
of
one
the-
that we're familiar with.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Teeny Tot. Mr. Teeny Tot. Slump's pocket snack buddy says that maybe he spoke to Mr. Weird, shitty, stupid, ugly face, dorky, big teeth, stupid hat too big for his head man.
In the background, someone
stapler.
cries.
I kind of look down. Do you mean Kirby?
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah, he is pretty stupid.
Yeah.
That's weird. Where else did he go?
What were the other places?
Some of them go to town. Some of them go all over the place.
What were the other places?
Did
So
anyone
some of
write
them were
it
to the
down?
docks, and some of them were the docks, some were to the hotel, and some were to the bar.
Yeah, Slump says all of that.
Yeah.
Wow. You remembered all that.
Yeah. Maybe
What a
we
rich
could go talk
tapestry.
to Mr. Stupid, shitty, ugly, bucktooth, moron, close too big for him, can't do anything properly, little baby bitch, useless man.
I quit.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet his hands were small too.
Wow. Wow. Now I feel like we're getting personal about this shit.
All right. Well. Interesting. Are Jake's with us now, right? Jake and Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy now.
Sorry about that. I'm
Oh,
working on my
bless
slump
you.
impersonation.
What the fuck?
What? I think I've gotten pretty good with it, Slump.
You son of a bitch.
I honestly did think it was you,
I'm
Nicholas,
trying
a
to
little bit.
sound like Slump. How am I doing?
Here, let me do my best Galdrick impression. No, I like Disneyland.
God.
You need to go a
Well-
little bit more high pitched, but you did all right. That's good. All right. Well, that's interesting. Which hotel? If he was staying at a hotel here, that might give us some information, as well as we definitely need to go to the sheriff's office. That's interesting. I look at Jake like that's weird.
Yeah. Maybe we knew he was at the docks. We already sort of did that. I don't know what part of the docks, but I mean, he had to get the tower somehow. And maybe the whole sheriff bit, that's a whole fucking can of worms I don't want to open, but hotel, I think I'm in for that.
All right, up to you. Where do you want to go? We either go to the hotel and see if that's where he went. Maybe he went back to his place of refuge, or it could be we get more information from the sheriff's office. Y'all pick.
Oh, you know what? I did see when I just peeked over. I saw that it looked like there was a kind of a chair, like a comfortable chair, and a television. So I think that's where he was going. I saw a bit of a window to it, as it were. Maybe we could try then. That's probably, the hotel over the sheriff's office.
Hey, Miss Lady.
Slump like drags his massive fucking hand across her face in like a concerned petting fashion and says, "Why you look so tired?"
Oh, darling Slump. Well, I hit my arm on a. This whole narrative is really concerning to me. There's a lot of implications, and I feel very. Oh boy. I'm good. You know what? Something has gone on, and I'm gonna tell you about it.
Okay.
But I want to be back, in our kind of hideout when we talk about it. I want to be with Tom. Thank you very much for noticing, dear. You're a good friend, and I pat his arm.
Slump understands.
And he like closes his eyes half in like the wise old man understanding look. It says,
Miss Lady ate too much. Now tum hurts. Slump understands.
It's kind of a combo, and it's rough.
Does your arm look visibly burned?
I was gonna ask, yeah.
No, arm looks, it's very weak. So if anything, like you wouldn't be able to use it very well. It would be very noticeably unable to be manipulated very well. But as for the actual appearance of the skin, no visible signs.
Okay.
And I kind of lost track of time progression. So, like, what time ish is it right now?
Yeah, it is getting pretty fucking late at night at this point.
And something that I'm not sure if you've explained, but could you tell us sort of what the town looks like? Where is it situated? Are there a bunch of mountains everywhere? What do the buildings look like?
Yeah, so the buildings are mostly wooden. Some of them have stone reinforcement. Very few of them have steel reinforcement, but most of them are wooden. So like the Nash Club, definitely wood. Hospital has a stone exterior because like the hospital is an important location. So the very, very important critical for civilization locations have stone and steel reinforcements, but like the bar, the Nash Club, the clothing store, the fucking the just average amenities stores are mostly all wood. Roads, there is a type of asphalt, but it's not very refined, and massive amounts of dirt get brought in from outside of town, so it's unbelievably dirty. There are wooden boardwalks in front of most of the storefronts to raise you up out of the dirt as it turns to mud when it rains, and the general landscape is very flat. There are a couple rolling hills way off to the west of town. To the east of town is very flat because that's where the gray water, the lake, is. But generally a very flat desert-like kind of environment.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hold on real quick before because we kind of haven't done anything since. When you said you saw a comfortable looking chair and a TV, I want to say, what do you mean you saw what? Inside? Chairs look like shit.
No. When you and Slump got all aggressive and then that fellow, there was a sound, and then that fellow just started to roll, I guess, as his classic getaway move is a roll.
Oh, right.
Towards that was, a chair and a television.
I just look completely puzzled. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, he zipped off out into the nether, did he not? Like he was there and then he was gone. I think that's where he went. Do you not see you've been zipping people all over the place? I think I saw you zip one. Wait, I actually see that at all.
Oh my God. What color was the chair?
Ooh, it was green.
I was gonna say green. So excited.
You guys become the ESPN.
Totally.
I wanna be like, okay. Slump down.
Okay.
Slump lowers him so very, very delicately.
I wanna wait here, and I wanna just like, I wanna run in. I wanna peek my head in the door.
Yep.
Are the chairs green?
No, they're all shitty ramshackle wooden chairs.
I run back out.
When you ran in, Steve Sports was behind the bar, and like he just caught the corner of his eye, and you saw all the color drain from his face when he just caught a bit, just the tiniest peek of you. He just went white as a sheet.
If I saw him, I'd like to blow a kiss.
He shudders.
Yeah, no, it's a very visible whole body shudder.
So I wanna run back out, and I want to be like, guys, body sucks. Like, fuck. Jake.
What's up, Chief?
Slap.
Yeah.
Which hotel? What did he go to?
That one.
And Slump points to in the general direction of wherever the fucking hotel is.
Yeah.
Jake, find out which hotel he's talking about. Get your flapjack out.
Yeah, so fuck, what was the thing last episode? It wasn't Google, it was what we decided the Google replacement was.
Ah, fuck, I don't remember.
Oh shit!
Oh, it's
it was
hacky
good
sack,
too.
wasn't it?
Hacky
Sack
sack,
maps,
Oh,
yeah.
so good. There we go.
Yeah, so I'll just click open hacky sack maps and be like,
Yeah.
what hotel?
Yeah, which hotel is that direction right there?
There are 3 hotels around you. Would you like?
I'm gonna start flipping through the hacky sack photos because there's obviously people leaving shitty reviews, and I'm gonna start looking for green chairs in the rooms.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah.
My man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's. You find exactly what you're looking for. You find reviews all over the place, pictures of the states people have found them in or left them in. Some of the higher priced ones look unbelievably clean. You get the feeling that probably these weren't posted by actual people staying there, but people are posting them as pretending to be people who stayed there, but they actually work for the hotel. So they're
Yeah, hacky sack needs to crack down on that stuff.
yeah. And there are all sorts of shapes and sizes of rooms. Some are unbelievably basic, like a wooden fucking board with a mattress on it, and it's like $1 a night. And some of them have like full virtual reality kind of sexual exploitation or adventure exploration. That's the word, sexual exploration.
That's gonna be a session.
But it says closed for maintenance.
Shut that down
so
right
that we
away.
can-
Backpedal.
So that we don't have to have that session.
See, I'll pull Lou over and just be like, Lou, paint me a picture, girl. Come on, and I'll start flipping through the photos and just be like, stop me when you see something.
No, not that. No, that's when that. Oh my God, what is that? Keep just scroll.
Is that a chair made entirely of penises?
Oh man. Yeah, it's the internet. That's the hacky jack.
I have
The
I have
ninth
been
season
there
of Game
before.
of Thrones.
Slump, remembering some of his previous meals, looks at the chair made out of penises and goes,
Oh, pit hot dogs.
Yeah, we've gotten no more girth lounge for you, Slump. Okay.
Oh, man.
What a world.
So what I will say is that you see lots of different furniture of lots of different shapes and sizes and colors, and you do see green chairs, and you do see green, kind of sofa chairs, but you do not in any picture see any place that has that chair in it. And I'm gonna say, just like, is there a roll for this? You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to do a roll for it. I'm gonna say
I'm God. I pick when we roll.
exactly. I pick when we roll. There is no roll for this. I will say that as you're looking through these, you notice that not only does the chair you saw not appear in any of these pictures, but the general layout doesn't even appear in any of the pictures. And as you're looking at these pictures, you notice that like the light in all of these is coming from the top, as is generally consistent with a hotel room. But
Electric lighting kind of thing? Or I guess like candle lamps.
yeah,
from
no,
the
like
ceiling? Okay.
like electro lamps from up atop, and sometimes candles, sometimes candelabras, sometimes whatever. But the lighting is completely wrong, because what you saw was actually a very large space that was very dark, and the lighting was only coming from the left-hand side.
Did it look like, what was its state of cleanliness? Did it look, or its kind of worn downness? Did it look like it might have been a hotel room, even a crappy one?
It would have been a pretty shitty one, because this chair would have definitely been replaced in any sort of a hotel of any repute. This chair has been sat in 100,000 times, and it was filthy.
You know what, guys? I'm not sure if it was even in a hotel, now that I think about it. Like, it was really squashed. Like, it was, not your standard hotel furniture, even in this place.
But the hotel thing, that was from Slump bloodhounding it, or that was just an assumption of hotel?
That's definitely from him bloodhounding it. He knew that there was a hotel was one of the places that he stopped at.
Well, I mean, if he's not staying at the fucking hotel, we knew there was Monocle Man, whatever his like fancy part. Maybe Monocle Man is at a nice hotel and he went to see it. I don't fucking know.
Like before we disappeared him?
Yeah, I guess, or any fucking time. What's the expiration date on dirt for a slump nose? I don't fucking know.
One thing I just want to make sure everybody's clear about, just because I think maybe some people might be getting confused. Demersal was the guy at the top of the tower trying to create a Frankenstein. Hutch.
He had a monocle?
Well, he was a very fancy man. He may or may not have had a monocle. That was Demersal.
Okay.
Hutch was sent to help him.
And there was a second visitor you described?
There was an additional visitor, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's who I was referencing, I guess.
Okay.
Oh. That one I forgot about.
Oh God, we're really starting to break up.
Yeah,
I can fix it.
I'm looking at Discord and I can see that the connection shows as 1 bar, so I think
Yep.
Discord's having a shit.
Yep.
Yep.
That's okay. Do we want to?
Jake, you're gonna fix that?
See what goes. Yeah. Jake, any solutions?
Doing it.
All right.
We're gonna poop for a second.
Thank you.
Just because my server is the only one with Fredboat, so we lose music if we.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I put this on East. Do you want to
All
just keep it here? I can change it back.
Well, we're up to 2 bars, so it's better than before.
Yeah.
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 So you got Demersal, who was creating the lightning monkeys and the Frankensteins, and Hutch, who was sent to help.
But then who's this third person?
You don't know anything about him yet.
But we know that for sure that another person was involved.
Damn it, it's down to 1 bar again. Maybe change this back.
Yeah, I'm having the same thing over here.
Yeah, it's super fucked.
So it's not your internet, it's just the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're back to West.
Damn it, it's still super fucked.
We can try for another 10 minutes, and if it doesn't get better, we can switch to my server and just go without the music.
All
We'll
right.
see.
I have full bars and I cycled. So if you guys want to.
Oh, I had full
back
bar.
to 1.
Yeah. No, when you cycled, it did get good, and then it went bad again. Damn it.
Me.
Might just be a temporary little.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, you guys know that Demersal was creating lightning monkeys, genius doctors, and Frankensteins. And you know that Hutch was sent to help, and you know that a third person showed up every now and then.
Was the third person the person that Demersal was trying to impress? Like, was he higher up? Like, Hutch is below Demersal in terms of power, right? And Demersal was trying to get into like a top-notch category of weavers.
I think from our notes, we know that Demersal wanted to become a Phase 2 Weaver, and Hutch was a Phase 1 Weaver. And Demersal was like, why should I be Phase 1 with this asshole? I should be Phase.
Yeah.
And I don't think we know what unknown visitor Monocle Man number 2 was. I assume higher.
Well, where do you guys want to go? What you want to do?
Well, I'm still Slump still feels like we should go and tell the Kirby, at least what we found.
Yeah, I think we have multiple leads there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to head to the police station?
Yep.
That's what I'm
Let's
down
go
for.
see Kirby. Yeah.
Off we go. All right, as you guys come up to the front door of the sheriff's office, you see Kirby looking at various papers. He's shuffling papers around. He staples a couple papers together. And then at the corner of his eye, he sees you guys approaching, and he quickly takes the stapler off his desk and shoves it in a drawer and puts a bin of paper clips up on the top.
Slump immediately runs, like thunders in, sort of cracks the threshold of the door on his way in to grab a handful of paper clips and just shove them in his mouth.
Oh, that's great. Hi, Mr. Slump.
Hi, Mr. Weird looking baby bitch man.
Oh, that's hurtful. I have a granola bar I was going to offer you, but you were just so mean to me.
Where is the granola bar?
It's like in one of his drawers.
Oh, okay. I thought like he had it in his hand. I was going to Slump puts his whole hand in his mouth.
No, yeah. You know, it's like in one of his drawers. Like, I was going to give you a granola bar, but you were mean to me.
As soon as he said, like, as soon as the sentence finishes out of his mouth, you could see Slump just staring at him blankly, a little bit of drool, because it takes him time to process what people say. And then you can see his mouth sort of pursing into a tiny little slit, and his eyes are just growing wider and wider and wider and wider, just staring unblinkingly straight at Kirby.
do you want a granola bar, Mr. Slump?
Slump with his massive fucking melted butter looking head just slowly nods up and down.
Okay. But you gotta, Mr. Slump, please don't bite my hand. I'm gonna.
Slump will try his best.
Okay.
Give me the bar. I'll give him.
Okay, sounds good.
Granola bar.
He reaches into the drawer, and you hear the definite rustling of multiple bars, and he pulls out one and he hands it over to Galdrick.
All right. Slump,
Uh-huh.
you ready?
Uh-huh.
You ready? I'm kind of like wiggling it in the air.
Yeah.
Okay. Hands down. Hands at your side. Hands at your side.
Slump like has his hands down to the side, but then you can see them like vibrating back and forth just because he's really excited about the granola bar.
Okay. And I kind of like want to toss it to him like a dog. I just want to like huck it in the air, and he just like hopefully does the dog thing where like half leap in the air to catch it, even though it's already landing right towards their face.
Yeah. Yep. He totally misses. The granola bar falls to the ground, and he immediately like slaps his gigantic fucking pancake face into the ground and just starts desperately licking for it.
Yeah, like when you jumped up for it, when you landed, there was definitely like a crack as some of the floorboards kind of gave way. And then an incredible thunderous smash as the face just impacts the ground trying to lick it up. Hi guys, what can I do for you?
You've been holding out on me, you son of a bitch.
What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
If I could see over this desk, I would cuss you out. Slump up.
Slump like immediately lifts him onto his shoulders.
What's the problem?
Do you know a man named Hutch?
Yeah, he's like some drunk troublemaker. We bring him in every now and then.
Do you have any information on him? Where he lives, his whereabouts, known associates?
I know that he hangs out at the Nash bar and the Motherlode. I don't know where he lives. Usually the sheriff just tells me to bring him over to the Shining Moon Hotel when he gets too drunk. We kind of put him in the drunk tank, and then when he's hungover, we just throw him in the Shining Moon Hotel. I don't know where he goes after that.
What was the name of the other bar?
The Motherlode?
Does it have green chairs?
That's a weird question. I don't know.
Jay?
What kind of club is it? Is it like just a bar, or is it like a gambling? Like what's the deal? What do you do there?
My eyes are at my hack jack, but I sort of just like absently nod at Galdrick as I'm already looking up the fucking the Motherlode bar and the something moon
Yeah, so I will say that the Shining Moon Hotel, there are no chairs that fit the description. And the Motherlode bar is a small bar, and then as you're looking at the pictures, you recognize that's actually where you fought the Yo-Yo Boys.
Oh, okay.
And there are no green chairs in there.
Got it. I'll save them to my Yelp profile so I can pull them back up later. No dice, guy.
God, it's Galdrick, not God. What the?
I got a thing. All right, I don't know. Calling people by their first name is fucking weird. I don't like it. So you're just guy, chief, cap, sart. You pick.
Fine, I got it, Nokia. Calm down. Listen. Kirby, I need all the information you have on him because that son of a bitch is the reason for all of the blackouts.
But we ain't had any more blackouts.
That's because we took care of it.
Then
Kirby!
why do you need to know where we is? You already took care of it. I don't understand what's going on.
Slump, like as soon as the words are out of Galdrick's mouth, grabs Kirby's hand and shoves it into his mouth.
Oh, no, I'll tell you anything. I don't know who he is. He's a drunk troublemaker. I don't know. We pick him up. He's drunk and he's mean and he says horrible things to me and he makes me feel bad about myself and then I cry in the storage room.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Okay, stop. Okay.
Slump takes his hand out out of his mouth, but is sitting there licking his lips, just staring at his hand.
Gross. I don't know. He's just a troublemaker. He hangs out at the Nash bar, and whenever his team loses, he goes over to the Motherlode and he drinks until he's just a big fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. Till he's a big farting jerk.
Oh, Kirby got really upset there.
I didn't swear. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I should have composed
Where's your
myself.
boss?
I'm a professional. I'm in law enforcement. He's a big farting jerk. And then we usually pick him up when he causes too much of a ruckus at the bar. And then we send him over to the hotel, and then we don't hear from him again for a while until he gets drunk and causes a ruckus. Luckily, he likes a pretty good team, so he doesn't usually get upset.
The Howlers are stupid.
I don't partake in that sport, so I wouldn't know.
Listen, can you give us any information about where we can find him?
Either the Nash Bar or the Motherlode or the Shining Moon Hotel, or I don't know where he lives. I don't think he lives at the hotel.
He went. Slump, give me your noodle pocket mud.
Okay.
Slump pulls out this giant fucking handful of now warm, wet mud and just slaps it into Galdrick's hand.
Thank you. And I slap it onto Kirby's desk, hopefully like all over paperwork.
Oh my God, what the hell? I'm telling you everything I know.
Where can I find mud like this? This was on his shoes.
I don't know, on the ground? It's mud. What the hell do I know?
And look at the color. You know the town better than we do. Where would we find mud like that?
Also, as soon as he starts giving this attitude to Galdrick, you can hear Slump go.
I guess on the dirty ground, the dirty parts of the ground probably is where you could find it. Where the dirt is, where there's
Slump,
lots of dirt.
Slump, do it again.
Wait, what? What is he saying?
I said, Slump, go ahead.
Slump grabs both of his hands, just little doll hands, and crams them both into his mouth so far that Kirby's hands are touching the back of his throat.
God, please don't eat me, Mr. Slump. Please don't eat me. I'm trying to help. I don't know.
Slump looks at Galdrick and says,
You want me to eat his shoes, Mr. Man?
Don't eat my shoes.
That's next. He doesn't take off your shoes when he eats the shoe.
Oh my God. I don't know. It looks pretty dark. I don't know. I guess mud. I don't.
If someone were to walk into this place and had muddy shoes with this kind of mud on it, would you be like, oh, they were probably at the?
I don't know. I guess they were hanging out with Birdie. I don't know. Birdie sometimes has that kind of mud.
Hell's Birdie.
Birdie Maddox. She's like one of the miners in town.
Hey, didn't we see her at Great Day at the celebrations?
Slump did meet Birdie at Great Day. Slump, Birdie was the person at the chili eating competition with you. The lady who gave you some firecrackers.
lady?
Yeah,
Oh my
and then
God.
when you slapped her leg, you blew half her leg off.
And she was laughing.
Oh yeah,
hysterically
she was
the whole
having a grand old fucking time with half a leg.
time. Oh my God.
That was Birdie.
Okay.
Where does Birdie live then? Mr. Curb.
She lives at Lane. I don't know, words and numbers and stuff.
Jake!
I just absently nod again. I'm already typing it.
How do you spell that? Oh my goodness.
Nah, man. Hacky sack autocorrect's pretty good. I got it.
It's the future. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
So I just
you're
pop
on.
it in, turn the map around real quick, show them where it is. Hey, Galdrick. Sorry, it's fucking weird for me to say your name. I don't know why. I don't like. It's too
You
fucking
didn't
formal.
have to
It's
say
not
it
a
like
thing.
that.
Well,
Slump-
that's
yeah,
how my
slump.
voice is.
Slump looks at him and says, "Don't say Mr. Teeny Tot's name like that."
All right, Mr. Trini Tat. So, proposition.
Slump looks very pleased with that.
Hey, Curb, how about the next time you bring him in to dry out in the drunk tank, you just fucking keep him here and give us a call and we'll come in. Yeah, no problem. Good, perfect.
Okay, if you promise not to eat my arms again. It's so gross.
Yeah, where's this? One. Okay, we got Birdie's address. Number 2, where's this mine at?
I don't know. There's a lot of mines.
I just turn the map over and like
I mean-
pan it out a little bit. Be like, mine.
There's Birdie's mine. Her first mine, the Maddox mines. I don't know. That's a mine.
The Howling mission, was that at that particular mine or a
That
different
was,
mine?
yeah. Yeah. Hey, did you guys ever deal with the howling at the mines? Because I think that's becoming an issue. It's been a while, and
Oh yeah, man, heading there right now. Don't worry about it.
That's where we're going. That's why we're here. Where's that mine located? You never gave us a map.
well, I mean, you should just be able to hacky sack it. I didn't realize you need a. Do you want me to draw it?
Do I look like a guy that has a hacky sack?
I don't know.
Slump slams his hand on the table and goes,
Yeah, does he look like the type of guy who
Do you need an extra hack, Jack?
I'm not hungry right now. No, it's fine. We'll go.
Wait, Kirby, dear, could you have anything that can, like, kind of act as proof that we're there on behalf of the sheriff's office? Like, hello, we're here on official business.
I don't think the monsters care if you're there on official business.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
What kind of you want a paper that says, "Hi, I'm here to kill the monsters because the sheriff told me to kill the monsters"?
I guess this dispensation, like a 00 license to kill, sort of.
How about a fucking search warrant for the moon whatever thing?
Okay.
2 points into
Sorry.
it.
Yes, that.
Wait, hold on. Okay, just a sec now. I don't know what you guys are doing with Hutch. He just seems like some sort of a normal drunk belligerent. And if you're going to the Maddox mines, that shit's been. Oh my god, that shirt.
as soon as he said that, Slump goes, "Oh."
I did it. I said shirt. That shirt's been abandoned for a long time, and so there's no one there. You don't need a search warrant. You can just go into the mines.
That's what I was looking for right there.
Okay.
Can I get real close to Kirby and just kind of like whisper to him?
Yeah.
Sorry, I fucked up my volume. Shit, I fixed my volume and I lost my fucking train of thought.
That's the worst.
So, Curbs. Shit. It was something that I was gonna say and I don't fucking remember what it was. God damn it.
So you just kind of like lean really close in to his ear.
Oh shit. I got it.
Okay. I like to think there's an uncomfortably long pause before it, though.
No, there is. I sort of like look down at my phone, like it's or my hack jack, like it's gonna like help me, and it doesn't. And I'm like, I just kind of stare in the middle distance for a second, and then I shake my head, and I'm like, oh, fucking right. So, you know, the fumes, it's a thing. Don't worry about it.
His big doe eyes just kind of like look blankly at like over your shoulder, like he's trying not to make eye contact.
I'll uncomfortably search for the eye contact, like move my head into it. But anyway, I'll get like uncomfortably.
I'm sensing a vibe
Yep.
between Kirby and Jake.
So, you know how we do some stuff for the sheriff, and he's like, you know, don't fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and say that this whole Hutch situation is shit we're not going to talk about. So you keep him in the tank, or we're going to have to talk to the sheriff again. And I don't want to fucking do that because he's an asshole.
I would not agree. Sheriff is a great person, but also that sounds like
So
a good
you want to
plan.
talk to the sheriff?
I don't
about-
wanna-
yeah,
I-
exactly. So let's fucking do that. Cool.
Okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Next time Hutch comes in and is being horribly mean and saying hurtful things that hurt me deep down inside, I will just keep him here for a while.
Yeah, and all those words that hurt. Know that you got the fucking key and he's stuck in there. Just leave him there longer. We'll take our time.
Yeah, fuck you, fart you, Hutch. I said fart.
All right, cool. I'm content. Yeah, I'll back off and not be weird anymore.
You can see his whole body just relax a little bit as you take another step away. Okay. So you're gonna go to the mines then and deal with the monsters there? Or are you gonna go deal with Hutch wherever he is?
Does Kirby know about the monsters?
He doesn't know if they're monsters. He just knows that a few troopers get reports of things like monsters, and they're not allowed to talk about it. And he's not allowed to talk to the public about it. But he knows that they call Tom and the people with Tom to deal with it. He knows it's above his pay grade.
And I'll just sort of say like, over is the sheriff here? Can we like hear him as his car or whatever in the fucking lot? Like, do we have any
Yeah, his car is in the lot. You get the feeling that his big fuck off sheriff's car is parked in the front. So you get the feeling that the sheriff is in.
Okay, so I'll say like obnoxiously loudly, like sort of pointing at the wall, hoping that he can hear me through the wall. Yeah, man, sure would be a shame if someone reported the Nash Club and it got swatted. And I'll just sort of walk out to the parking lot.
As soon as you say that, like Kirby starts visibly sweating. Like every pore in his face immediately produces sweat, and he's sweating profusely immediately. That would be unfortunate.
So are we now departing to basically go to the mine?
That's a good
I'm
question.
good for that. Yeah, I'm solid.
I think as we leave, Lou would say, because it was getting late, right?
It is getting quite late. Like it's probably around like midnight or something now. You actually get the feeling Kirby was kind of packing up. Like he was kind of like stapling his last couple papers together and was getting ready to like his bag was on the table and he was putting his little empty box lunch back in his bag and was kind of getting his coat on, and the papers he was stapling were like the last couple papers on his desk. And now you see he's taking his coat off and putting it on the back of his chair, and he's getting like many paper towels to clean the mud that's been smacked on his desk to clean it off.
Aw, poor Kirby.
Guys, we're the
Wait,
worst.
Oh, just wait. Just you fucking wait. Oh, it's not over for Kirby yet.
I like the sound of that. I like that.
Oh, it's not over.
Oh
We're
god.
gonna mold this guy into like our arch villain.
He's gonna be the last boss.
A year from now, it's gonna be like Grand Arcanist Kirby.
All right.
Well, I think Lou would. Well, fellas, I'm beat. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not as young as I used to be, and I
I think I just need to sleep. Do we want to hit the mines in the morning? Maybe stop by Tom's and pick up Slump and have a little convo before we head out?
Breakfast.
Well, you made those breakfast wings before, and they were delightful.
Yeah, breakfast wings. Breakfast wings. Slump's favorite. Crunchy, crunchy breakfast wings.
Yeah, you got a real knack.
Hey, Mr. Teeny Tot, Slump has a question. Okay, Slump will go fuck himself.
I think Galdrick might be AFK for a sec if I look at roll
Hey,
20.
buddy, what can I do for you?
Yeah, Galdrick's like, yeah, what's up, Slump?
Okay, no, that's okay. I'll just wait until he gets back.
All right.
Okay.
Eerie.
Okay.
Oh, wow, both of you.
Yeah, Lou, I can give you a ride to wherever is nearby on the bike, and then I'm going home.
Oh, thanks, dear.
Okay, yep, you can take your hover bike over to Lou's ship, which is parked kind of on the outskirts of town. I'm assuming the fortune teller shack part is kind of folded up back into the ship.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want anybody knocking on the door when I don't really want them to knock on the door.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it's basically just a small single-person ship with a kind of boxy side that looks like it would unfold into the actual fortune-telling shack. You drop Lou off there, and you head back to your haven. And Slump, I assume you head back to Tom's mines.
Not yet.
Oh, boy.
So after Jake had his whole sort of like, oh yeah, it'd be unfortunate if that place got swatted as he was walking out, Slump is still sort of upset with him for getting snarky with Galdrick. So as Slump is walking out, and I'm going to let you decide how hard this is, Slump is going to point one of his big sausage hands right at Kirby's face and then fucking pound a fist on his desk right above the drawer where all the other granola bars were.
Okay, well, I guess what is the intention behind this? Like, is Slump looking to break something, or like what's the intent behind this?
He's sort of intending to intimidate, like he's basically saying, you know, cut the shit, and also I know where your fucking granola bars are.
Yeah, okay, yes. Then you smash the desk.
Okay.
And you definitely just cartoon style, it's a metal top desk, and the metal just folds in where your fist goes in, which pops the drawer out.
Okay.
And it's just like a confetti of granola bars in there.
Go ahead.
Which drawer is the stapler in? Not to...
Oh my God!
yeah.
It is.
Right?
It's in the exact same drawer. So a stapler comes flying out in amongst all the. It's right. It's on this side, and he only has the one drawer. So yeah, a bunch of granola bars come out as well as a stapler.
Okay, Slump is gonna grab a handful of whatever was in the drawer and cram it all into his mouth, like wrappers and everything, and then he's gonna very selectively with his two massive fucking cucumber fingers take the stapler and like wag it in front of his face to show him like he knows what this is, and then slide it into his pocket.
You can see as Kirby's watching all of the things go flying all over, he's kind of ashamed. But then as soon as he sees the stapler, his big doe eyes turn into giant saucepans as he realizes in horror that his precious stapler is now exposed. And as soon as you reach for it, you can see this sinking, settling of the horror of reality as this stapler disappears into your pocket. And you see his jaw sags, his eyes look down, his shoulders sag. The his hat that's just a little bit too big kind of slides down his ears and covers the top half of his whole forehead and the top half of his eyes. And he just kind of slumps back down in his chair.
All right, now Slump will go out and grab Galdrick, put him on his shoulders, and head back to wherever.
Oh, now they've effectively ruined this guy's week. Fair enough.
All right, so yeah, you head back to Tom's Mines.
Yeah.
You guys all have a restful night. You all regain any health that you had lost. And I think the night generally... Let me take a look. Yep, the night generally passes without incident. So you guys all awake in your respective places. And then you said you wanted to meet back at Tom's Mines?
Yeah, I think that's what we had discussed.
Okay,
Yeah.
well...
That's what I'd say. Nice.
The only thing
I
I would
like that
add to
well.
like my evening, unless something's gonna happen before we get there, is I eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich as usual, and I'm going to make the cot because it's been unmade for a very long time. And I'll do my ritual of staring at it while I eat my sandwich.
Yep.
And then I wanted to use my armory and workshop. If you want to do that
Yes.
now before we do.
Fuck yes, I do.
All right, so everyone keeps saying werewolves, so I'm just gonna instead of doing the research bit on werewolves, I'll use the time to use the armory and sort of workshop as like the backup to that.
Yeah.
To make some werewolf weapons, a singular werewolf weapon.
Yep.
Whatever.
Is there a role for that, or do you just do it?
You have a stockpile of mystical and rare monster killing weapons. You need a special. Okay, yeah. So I roll plus weird.
Okay, cool.
Oh, plus 2. Shit.
Jake is weird as fuck.
I should get some magic stuff. I didn't know I had weird like that.
What's your question there, Slump?
I
had
don't
my
even
headset on.
remember.
I was
don't even remember. I don't even
Taking
remember what it
care of
was.
things.
It was just a slump. It was a slumpish question and had no real purpose.
Holy shit, that's a full success, isn't it? So what is that?
So it says on a 10 plus, you have it, and if it matters, plenty of it.
Okay, cool. So you wanted anti-werewolf stuff, right?
Yeah, a stockpile of
Yeah.
mystical and rare monster killing weapons and items. So I would just sort of anything applicable to. I imagine a werewolf would be pretty vanilla compared to some of the other weird shit.
Yeah.
So I would just sort of go off what I know. If I have time, I guess I'd use the lore library to freshen up. But yeah, whatever
Yep.
you deem me to have.
Yeah, I'll say you can roll both. Like essentially, I'm gonna say you use the lore library at night. Like you kind of go to sleep reading the books, and then in the morning you take the knowledge from the books to build the shit. So if there's a roll for the lore library, definitely go ahead and use that too. I think that's like investigative mystery, isn't it? Or it's a +1 to investigate a mystery.
Yeah, it says when you hit the books. And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck hit the books is.
I think
I
that's
don't know if
just.
that's a roll.
I think it's just when you hit the books, you get +1 to investigate a mystery. Isn't that what it says or something?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
didn't know if hit the books was a thing.
No. It just means like when you go to your library and start reading. So you basically now have +1 to investigate a mystery. If you'd like, you could investigate a mystery and use that +1.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Awesome. So this is plus sharp. You get your plus sharp plus an additional 1. Hey. Okay, so you can ask
7 and
one
9,
question.
1. We don't know a ton of information. Like, I don't think I can ask what can hurt it because we don't know what it is yet.
Basically, I think
could
you
ask
can
what
you
sort of creature.
You can ask any question you want from that list, and I will temper the answer with information that you could reasonably glean.
Okay, so we know we have the reports, but we've not seen it ourselves. So using the reports, I want to see if I can discern what sort of creature is it, rather than just gut like knee jerking to where.
Okay, that's probably the best question you could have asked. So there was a mention of potentially it being a werewolf. But you've fought werewolf familiars before. You kind of know their general MO. You've seen them, you've heard them, you've fought them. You know that silver bullets generally are a weakness for them. You know what their general weaknesses are. But a lot of this sounds like a werewolf. but then some of it doesn't line up in such a way that it can't be a werewolf. Like, werewolves, they do howl at the moon, but the sounds that some of these reports say aren't howling. They're like screaming and shouting. They're like yelling. They sound way too human. They don't sound animal enough to be an actual werewolf. So you start to get the feel that while werewolf was the knee-jerk identification, that's not what it actually is.
Okay. So I don't know what it is from that. I just know it's not a werewolf.
I will say not only is it not a werewolf, but it doesn't match any familiar you have ever heard of or been documented.
Dope. Okay. Then I will just sort of pack a kit. For one, I'll probably get a replacement fucking multi-tool because mine's melted to some slip skid like boat.
Your headlamp also broke.
Yeah, so I'll just if I have replacements, I'll fix my shit, and if I don't, I'll get it in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'll spend money on that if we're tracking money, and then I'll just sort of take like the most generic sort of like shitty vampire hunter kit, sort of like set up like a bag with like, you know, a wooden stake and like a silver pin or something like that. Garlic, some fucking holy water, whatever weird shit I can just sort of like isn't super obscure that I have lots of. Just throw in a bag to take it.
Okay, yeah, I will say. The items that you listed, so the items are super actually important for what you're going to bring, because there are weaknesses, and it's important to know whether or not you're bringing an item that is a weakness.
Okay, so I'm going to be real specific about what I want to bring.
Yeah.
All right. So if I think like a gun is probably not. I just don't have a gun laying around. There's like a shotgun upstairs, but I don't like it.
Yep.
So like, if there's a crossbow or some kind of like pointy projectile firing object,
yep,
I will use that and or buy one if I have to.
Yep.
And then make sure I bring a projectile for it that is wood, that is like synthetic, like a plastic or something like that. That is iron, that is steel, and that is silver if I have access to all those things.
Yep, absolutely.
Then,
now your armory is like tricked out in a freaky way, so definitely.
Okay, sweet. So wood, synthetic like plastic, iron, steel, silver. Bring the holy water for sure. Bring garlic for sure. Bring like any dried herb satchels that I have. Salt.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. It's just some like generic ass monster. Yeah, I mean that's all I can think of. So we'll just fucking leave it at that.
I think that's good. I think because it was a very solid success, and I will say you brought a fuck ton of all of those. You have enough to use and waste.
Cool. So like crossbow, what should I mark down as like the weapon that like the thing that will deliver those with?
Yeah, I will say just a straight up crossbow. You can say you have a crossbow with with bolts of the appropriate types.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
Anybody else want to do anything else? Oh, actually, shit, Lou, let's have you do your premonition. That's the one.
I was gonna say.
Fuck yes. Let's have Lou's premonition.
Truly though, first.
Yep.
How's my arm? Is my arm okay? What's going on with my arm?
As you rest and as you have a snack, if you have anything with like electrolytes, like if you pound a fucking Gatorade, you notice that you feel a lot better, a lot more quickly. So your arm is not physically damaged, and as you kind of recharge, you feel really quite a bit better.
Nice.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have a Gatorade, but
as you eat like a bowl of yogurt and hemp hearts, you feel way better.
There you go.
Yeah.
Give me some pomegranate seeds all in a bowl.
Yogurt and hemp hearts.
Yeah, man.
You know how she do.
As a peanut butter and jelly guy, I'm judging you silently.
Fair.
All
They
right.
can never learn this about each other. So I would like to, as you say, so I get up and I'm like, well, that was a fucking weird day. I wonder what this next day is gonna be like. I try and I would like to think it through and see if I can think something up.
Yeah. So let's give it a roll.
That is plus weird,
Yep.
which is 2.
Holy fuck! That is
Oh
the
my
most
God.
successful that it could possibly be.
This is gonna be one fuck of a
What's
premonition.
up?
Okay. Okay. On a 10 plus, you get a detailed vision of something bad that is yet to happen. You take +1 forward to prevent it from coming true, and mark experience if you stop it. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. What are the things that you could potentially stop? Okay. Oh, I gotta think this through. This is so there's so many moving parts, guys. Okay, so you kind of set the space. You arrange the carpets and crystals and bowls. You light the incense and hang the dream catchers, and you kind of arrange the space in just the way to help you get this vision. And as you close your eyes and your third eye opens, you see, of course, the bleeding man standing in front of you, watching intently. And then he kind of evaporates as everything goes very grayscale. And you are kind of lifted up out of your ship. And you see like an ant hive of people moving all over the city, just people coming in and out of buildings all over the place, hover bikes, hover trucks, shit like that, moving, going, doing their daily routine. And then you notice something weird in the hospital in the southeast corner of the town. You see a pouring out of people. And they're not just walking out, they are running. You see this giant exodus of everybody from the hospital, and you see people on stretchers, and you start to kind of come closer to the front doors of the hospital, and time is no longer going quite so fast. And you see people carrying sick and wounded people out on their shoulders. They're pushing them out on carts. They're carrying their IV racks. They've got them on the like stretchers, and they're desperately trying to get them away from the hospital. And every now and then somebody will fall over and nobody will help them up. They are all so desperate to get away from the hospital. And then you see something happen. It's like all the windows on the inside of the hospital start going black. And you hear this ungodly creaking, bending sound. There's this thumping, kind of loud clicking sound on the inside as you see the walls, the cement walls on the inside, on the outside, start to crack, and the inside of the windows start to splinter as there's this incredible darkness on the inside of the hospital. And then you come back to reality, and that's the vision.
Well, I guess it's never easy.
Okay. So I I put that little ball of feelings into my pocket and I head on over to Tom's. Just wait until those guys hear about this.
Okay. So I will say, unless anybody else wanted to do something else during the night, you guys wind up back at Tom's.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, so the one thing I will say is that Slump and Goldrick, you weren't able to sleep in Slump's normal chambers because you locked Dr. Ick in there. And, and there's a giant...
Yep.
Yeah, there's a giant stone in the fucking way. And so you guys had to kind of sleep out in the open in the main chamber. And I guess every now and then you would faintly hear the sound of a sad banana being peeled behind the stone. Sad banana. If ever you heard a sad banana being peeled, that's what you heard. And when you wake up in the morning, I will say that Jake and Lou are arriving as you guys wake up, and Tom is already there, and he's standing in front of one of the doors, and he's making these signs. He's like, it's like he's tracing some sort of a thing on one of the doors and looking very thoughtful at it. And then this piece of paper kind of materializes out of the door, and he pulls the piece of paper out and he reads it. And then he kind of tosses the paper behind him, and it kind of turns to ash in the air as he tosses it. And then he walks over to the next door and he starts making symbols on that door. And the same thing, a piece of paper comes out and he reads it, and then he tosses it behind him. He doesn't even notice you guys come in.
Tom, what are you doing over there? What are you doing?
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice you guys.
Oh, so good morning. I'm sorry, that was rude.
Yes. Oh, yes. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you've all been well. No. I'm just communicating with my associates, trying to get a read on the current situation, which is not great. But you know.
That's fellow weavers, are the calligraphers? Those guys?
Yes. Sorry, they're fellow calligraphers, and we're just trying to get a bead on the situation, which seems to be deteriorating, unfortunately.
Are they right behind those doors? Are they also in this cave system?
No. They're far away. They have a weave that lets them communicate through these doors. And I communicate through them through the doors to them, and this way, if I die here, they're still alive, and the calligraphers can continue. There's no way to get us all in one place to kill us all, kind of thing.
Well, that's very nice, but why not just use a phone? I mean, we have phones. I mean, Jake's got like 1,200 different phones himself.
Yes, that's wonderful, but they can be traced, and we need our communications to be absolutely untraceable.
Oh, I see. And I tap my head. Speaking of tinfoil hats, how is our new friend, Dr. Rick? Have you been able to, make a bud?
That's an interesting question. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was a little bit surprised that you would just bring one of Demersol's constructs in here. And while he seems nice enough, he seems under the impression that I'm going to make him real? I don't know. I have no idea how to do that. That seems like a crazy... So I've told him maybe... because I don't want to break his heart, but guys, I don't know how I could possibly do that.
I'm instantly just chuckling under my breath.
I've got so many questions. I'm just going to kind of leave him back there. I don't really know what else to do with him, but why was he not unwoven? Why was he allowed to continue for so long? Why is he still allowed to continue? Why is he still here? Why doesn't Demersol just unweave him?
Slump, you can see Slump's eyes cross so hard you can almost no longer see his fucking pupils. As he's trying to remember, he goes,
Oh yeah. Oh, he had a neat hat. He had a little hat that he wore, and he says it made it so they couldn't make him go bye-bye.
Yeah, so apparently he had more tinfoil in his pocket, and he's made another hat now. But I gotta tell you guys, I don't think that works. I don't
But
think that
do people
works.
usually go bye-bye?
Well, usually
Uh-huh.
weavers, when they're done with a situation or they haven't escaped the familiar, they'll just unweave them, and I don't know why he hasn't. And
Well, because he had a hat. Did
I
you know
don't-
any others that didn't have a hat?
I don't. I've never seen a. I've never
There you
seen.
go.
Slump folds his arms. Like,
There you go.
Okay, that's Slump. Technically you're right, Slump. Technically you're right, but I have a very hard time believing that. But technically, yes.
Tommy, you know I'm not big into your wizard shit, but
It's
I mean,
really-
could
really-
Pine Sol have just been real busy and just fucking forgot?
It's
Or is it the kind of thing that's like, oh man, this is hard. I probably wouldn't forget about this.
It's really either Tom or Thomas. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but also it would be draining to keep the familiar up. Like, he would be physically drained all the time to keep this familiar up. He had to know about it.
All right, so 2 questions real quick. Do we know this is Pine Sol's? Like, is there a fucking barcode we can check to be like, this belongs to property of Pine Sol? Or 2, is this dude like a spy or a bomb or something that we just brought to your house cave?
Yeah, so I guess I hadn't considered the first point. I assumed it was Demersol's, but I guess I don't actually know that it is. Why else would somebody make a familiar and let them hide under the tower? I just don't understand that. And the second point is more what I was worried about, is that this Dr. Ick is actually some sort of a nefarious agent, a spy or a destructive agent of some sort, which is why I've left him behind the boulder. I don't want him seeing me communicating with my partners. I don't want him knowing my face or his location. And so I've just kind of left him behind there.
Does
Can
Tom know?
familiars lie? Sorry.
No, your thing's more important.
It depends on the familiar. So if it was a familiar built for only truth, then it wouldn't be able to lie. But if it was just if that was not one of its main principles, then yes, it would be able to.
Does Tom know about Hutch and the other unknown dude? Have we brought that up to him?
No, he wasn't here last time you guys were here. You haven't updated him with that information.
Cool. So whoever has those letters, I guess we should, unless anyone wants to withhold information from 12-gallon ego hat Tommy, we'll dump the letters on the table and bring them up to speed.
Lou has the letters.
Ego hat. No, yeah, I agree. I think we should share.
Okay.
I don't not trust Tom yet.
Okay, so you just kind of lay all the letters out on the table?
Yeah, here's what we know. I mean, we found these in his little tower area. So we've been, gosh, there's so much that's happened. Well, there's one fellow named Hutch. You can see him mentioned here in this letter.
Yes. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, we found him, and then we unfound him. He just kind of left, I guess, via the cosmos.
What? Do you mean you killed him?
Yeah, Galdrick, you wanna weigh in?
Nope.
I mean, we did.
Okay. hold on.
We put him as close to kilt as possible in a very narrow time window, but I don't think we got him all the way there. It was, like finish line was in sight, then he was like zip zap zoop. Now I'm not here anymore, and we were like, oh well, fuck.
Okay. So you guys do remember the point when I told you to please not kill them? Like you do remember that, right? When I said please bring them here so we can get answers and not kill them. Do you remember that when I said that to you?
Short fucking period of time, and we got one hit in. Slump gave him a high five, and then before I could lasso, what do you want me to do? Hog time while he fucking teleports?
Okay.
Chill.
All right, just okay. Oh, you know what?
Slump. We were supposed to bring him back alive.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, deadly honest, I fucking forgot that shit too.
Okay, so
Okay.
honest mistake. Maybe don't let Slump do the hitting. I can tell since he's left, he's got a lot stronger. And I think if he hits someone, they might just cease to exist. So maybe don't let Slump be plan A, because I think at that point, we're never going to get them back here for questioning.
Well,
Just
I mean, we crushed his skull and kind of, he looked like how he got to see him. He was like, don't kill me. Pew, pew, pew.
That's
And then,
gross.
and then, his eye was hanging out. It was nuts.
It's really disgusting. Why would you do that?
Yeah, well, because we were hoping to I wasn't trying to kill him. I was trying to incapacitate him.
So you crushed his skull and popped his eye out to not kill him.
I didn't. I look at
Okay.
Slump.
All right. Well,
Yeah, Slump to give him a little tippy tap.
no, Slump,
Uh-huh.
I love
Little
you.
tippy tap.
I love you, Slump.
Uh-huh.
Please don't love tap people anymore. I
Little
know.
tippy tap.
I know, just a little tippy tap, but Slump is so strong. Slump's a big, strong man, and he hurts them so bad. It hurts
The whole
them.
time they're
They're,
talking,
they're
I'm like,
so
I'm
weak.
shaking my head at Tom, but like nodding at Slump, be like, yeah, tippy tap, yeah, tippy tap.
Yeah, tippy tap, tippy tap,
Yeah.
tippy tap.
No more. You know what, Slump?
Why? What?
You hurt them so bad when you tippy tap them. Maybe
Well,
maybe you don't tippy tap them to start with. Maybe you tippy tap them once they tippy tap you.
well, he looked like he was the type to try to tippy tap.
I get that, but Slump, we're raised we're raised to a higher standard, and it's important for us as agents of higher standard to only tippy tap back. Okay, we never
Slump's nose starts bleeding.
tippy tap first. Okay, we never tippy tap first, Slump.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, good. Okay, so you tippy tapped him, and then he's dead or he's not dead. I'm still not really clear on that point, and I feel like it's an incredibly important point, guys.
He's not dead. He went somewhere else.
Okay.
Wasn't dead at the time he went through the thing.
Okay, wait, just a sec.
That's true. We
Hold
can't
on.
speak to his whereabouts currently.
Okay, just a sec, guys. Hold on now. So from what I understand, you found Demersal at the top of the tower, and you made him go away. And then you found Hutch in the Nash Club, and you made him go away?
No.
I feel like
No, he
yeah.
went away on his own.
No, but it sounds like he wouldn't have gone away if you hadn't made him go.
Oh.
I'm
You're
just
saying that this incredibly evil force, this person, this bad
Yeah.
guy, this person who was trying to essentially make zombies,
yeah.
is just going to come with us if we ask him nicely.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm going to make Slump tippy tap you, say something that's stupid again.
Okay, well, Slump would never do that. Slump loves me. Right, Slump?
Yeah, Slump tippy tap, Mr. Jonk.
I don't know who that is, Slump.
And I look and I put two fingers to my eyes and I look at Tom. And that's you.
Tom kind of like points at you, and he's like, "That's you." And he says, "Okay, I understand, but Slump is too strong. Okay, he's gonna kill these guys, and we do need them back here. Slump, have you seen him crush a man? Because he can do it. He can actually.
I've seen him eat a man.
Wait, who did he eat? Who did he eat?
Ooh, never mind.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, maybe. So I got a piece of paper here that's pretty important. Let's pump the brakes on that.
Hold on now.
The old Pine Sol had a letter
Slump
about
found a lady at the
liver first?
hospital and he ate her.
You wait.
No. I kind of like put my mouth over Slump's hands over Slump's mouth. No.
Nothing with his mouth or something.
Anyways, no. That never hit. No. I was just kidding. We were just kidding.
So Slump looks at Teeny Toe and goes,
Oh, yeah, we were just kidding.
and it's trying to wink but doesn't understand how it works, so he's just blinking really hard.
All right, I guess that's a surprise for later. What were you saying, Jake?
So I'm trying to real quick pivot to the one letter that said that like they knew calligraphers were here but not where, because I think that's Tom.
Yeah.
So I'll just sort of be like, yeah, I think this letter might be of importance, and I'll just sort of slide it over and be like, pretty sure calligraphers is you, us.
Yeah, that's us, all right. I guess it made sense. He was trying to do all kinds of things, and they were. We should always hold weavers up on our shoulders, but I gotta tell you guys, his weaves were pretty garbage. He made really shitty zombies. Yeah, Demersol. He made these really shitty weaves, and I'm not a combat weaver, guys. I'm really not built for combat, and I was able to handle all of his very, very shitty weaves until he made the stupid monkey. That thing was a bit above what I was capable of handling, and I guess my intervention is why he was trying to make these Frankenstein monster things. But
So
I guess he does know about us.
Yeah, so if he was kind of shitty, and I'll point to one of the other letters talking about like him being phase 1, wanting to go to phase 2, Hutch being phase 1, all that kind of stuff, and the bit about the other monocle. So do you think maybe he didn't weave the better shit, and Mr. Mystery Monocle Man was our weaver on that end of it?
Potentially, but I gotta. I've never seen a phase 2 weaver in action. By the time phase 2 takes place, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and they don't usually phase 2, not usually destructive, not usually chaos. Phase 1 is always chaos and destruction and death, and phase 2 is something else, something
So
way
Pine Sol
more
is just an
insidious.
asshole who's all full of himself. He's not, phase 2 material.
I would, judging by the zombies I took care of, I would say he's a far cry from phase 2.
Solid, but the old like the lightning monkeys and fuck Dr. Stretch over there and Dr. Stretch number 2 and that shit, like, is that
I mean,
not?
he made doctors incapable of making Frankensteins. So I would say the doctors aren't that great, and the lightning monkeys were basically big batteries. I would say nothing here suggests a powerful weaver, honestly. More powerful than maybe I could deal with, but I wouldn't say anything. I've never faced a phase 2 weaver myself. I've only ever read stories, and from the stories I would say these don't sound like phase 2 to me.
And unless anyone else wants to ask anything, I was going to sort of bring them up to speed on what we were going to
Nope.
do. Go
Please
to
go
mine.
ahead. I don't really have any questions.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess next step is we're going to Birdie Maddox Mines, do some werewolf hunting, but they're not werewolves. I did a little hit the books. We don't know what the fuck they are. We're gonna go out there. Do you know what the shit that?
At the Maddox Mines, interesting. I don't think I don't. So they're not werewolves, or they are werewolves. You kind of glossed over that.
Nah, I mean, so everyone was said like, werewolf, but I went over all the sort of reports, did a little reading. I'm pretty sure they're not fucking werewolves. I just don't know what they are. So I was curious if you had a little insight with your magic mail doors and shit.
Okay. Then he asks you to give him the descriptions of everything that you said. And he goes over to the doors and he kind of relays that information. And a piece of paper comes out and he reads
fuck.
it.
The doors are actually fucking useful?
Yeah. Yeah, this is how we communicate. This is only I can communicate them. I know the weaves. But if you open the door, there's nothing behind them.
Hey Lou, you should memorize those weaves.
What? What?
I said you should try to memorize those weaves for future use.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to look with your third eye?
Oh, that's true. I was just gonna look at his hand movements, but I guess it would be helpful to see the ink. Good call, everybody. Hey, sorry, this is off topic, but do I use the bleeding man every time I do absolutely anything? No, right? It's just when I try to do magic?
When you try to do magic, if you try to make something happen from ink, you need him.
But if I'm just trying to look at ink.
No, if you're just
I can
trying to
do that
look,
all
that's
night.
nothing. That's easy. That's just your eyeball.
Super duper. I'd like open that eyeball.
You open your eye and you see a couple things of interest. You see the bleeding man, and he's not standing next to you.
Jeez. Well, one positive.
He is hovering over Tom's shoulder, looking,
Oh my god.
looking unbelievably intently at what Tom is weaving. Like,
For God's sake.
he is tunnel visioned on Tom's hands.
I like being able to hear her groan like in the back.
I hate it so much, everybody. I hate it.
Like fucking Spirited Away Totoro style. You see his pupil and iris kind of expand and contract a little bit in that giant third eye.
I wish we were in a Totoro situation. Are you kidding me?
And
come on.
he is like, you can almost not even hear him breathe. It's like he's holding his breath with anticipation, watching what Tom is doing. And as for Tom, you see Tom kind of pull it's like a drip of ink comes out of the tips of two of his fingers, and he kind of smears it in the air. And then he kind of loops it and he smears it and he pushes it over alongside, and then he pushes it into the door. And then from the center of that knot of ink, he pulls on the middle and a piece of paper comes out of it. And he looks at the paper and then he throws it behind him, and you can see it kind of evaporate into ash. And then the same thing, he goes over to the next door, and this time the bleeding man is like almost touching Tom's hands. He is so close to Tom's hands, following so unbelievably closely with what Tom is doing. And Tom makes the same motion. He grabs this drip of ink from his fingers and he kind of streaks it across the door. And then he loops it and he pushes it to the side. And then when it's fully formed, he pushes it against the door and he pulls on the middle of it. And this piece of paper comes out. And he looks at it and then he throws it over his shoulder.
Look, Tom, that's great. I don't think you need to do the third door. I think that's fine. I think we're fine just with two.
That's probably a good idea, because the third door is my door. I don't think I'm gonna answer. I'm in here.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm not home
Slump
right
doesn't understand,
now.
but you just hear him go.
Slump.
Is that the top? Which is the third door? Top or bottom?
The top.
Okay.
He says, I'm not home right now. And he puts his hands on his hips and he kind of has this like really lame smile.
Dad joke face.
Yes, exact dad joke face 100%.
Slump is clapping his big meat hands together, going, Mr. Jorp.
And he says, I don't remember what the question was. He doesn't say that. I don't remember what the question was.
He did, yeah, me
Insight
too.
on the monsters from the mine.
Oh, yeah.
mission or
No, he says,
whatever.
we don't know.
Oh, well,
I kind of feel like that's not Tom. I'm just gonna.
yeah, solid fucking wizard mail there, Chief. All right, thanks.
Okay, no. Okay. He says, what you're describing doesn't sound like a familiar. It doesn't sound like any familiar we've ever heard of. It sounds like no familiar in our records. There's phase one is a pretty basic phase. It consists of death, destruction, chaos. It generally consists of familiars built for those purposes, and nothing about what you've described fits the bill of any familiar in calligrapher history.
Solid, y'all. So we're pretty sure we know about all the phase one, puppets, muppets, what the fuck ever. So we're pretty sure we're just gonna be walking into some phase two business and have no fucking idea what's in it.
Okay. All right. Listen, phase two, there's not a lot of information because once it proceeds to phase two, it's hard to stop. There's only very few documented cases of phase two ever being successfully stopped. Phase two is more political. Phase two is hearts and minds. Phase two is what happens after the chaos and the destruction. The rebuilding is facilitated by phase two. And their constructs are far more in the realm of emotional manipulation and mind control, and they have very little to do with any sort of destruction or werewolves or howling. They should seem like nothing more than a normal person. They should seem like having a drink and suddenly agreeing with someone much more heartily than you would have before, or meeting someone and finding their views more compelling than ever thought before. Phase two is very different. There would be no reason to have a werewolf-like phase two creature.
All right, so if he doesn't have records, I don't have records of this stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
You know that
All
it's
right. Thomas.
basically what you know is that it's not a familiar. That as like monsters ain't real, and the not real monsters, this ain't even one of them.
Got it. So, did we ever get those ceiling nails that were sort of like, fuck, what we were gonna do? Like the ceiling nails for people, so that, like when they were full of ink, we could just pin them and then they were like stuck. Did that ever get made? Did Tom make those, or was that sort of in ideation?
I think what you didn't mention it in character. What you said was like a doggy bag of generic ceiling nails. You never said that in person, so he never made them. Yeah, so you never said it. You never said it in person.
Oh fuck! I thought, shit. Okay, yeah, we weren't. I thought we established that he couldn't just make like catch-all ceiling nails because it had to be specific.
Oh, maybe
were
because
talking-
that's true. If you know that, then that was definitely said because that is true. He cannot make generic ceiling nails.
We had a theory a session or two ago that the reason this dude was making zombos was to like be ink batteries, so like
Yeah.
you just leave the ink in people. And I
Yeah.
think we were talking about ceiling nails for the people, so he couldn't just like pull the ink back out of them. Fuck, I don't remember. But if you don't remember it, we don't have nails for that then.
if you want, basically he needs to know what the ink has been shaped into before he can seal it. It needs to have a purpose so that he can custom tailor the nail. If it's just ink being dumped into a thing, there's not really much he can do to seal it one way or another.
I found it in my notes. If it's using real bodies plus ink, no sealing nail, needs to be special form of monster. We were gonna test having Slump fucking eat them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. All I remember was Slump eating them. I didn't remember the rest of it.
Yeah.
we'll not bring that up, but I guess. All right, Tommy. So fucking mind control shit. Does tinfoil hat? You said doesn't work. So what does?
For hiding you from a weaver?
No, I mean, like, if we're gonna go, poke around these not werewolves, and we find out that they're like mind control not werewolves, like we're fucked. We're just all gonna kill each other, or never come back, or be werewolf mind slaves. Like, what the fuck? How do you deal with? You got any information on how to deal with not being a werewolf mind slave?
I'm not sure I understand. So the only thing that can exist that's not it has to be a magical construct. It has to be made of ink in order to exist. It's got to be a familiar in order to be made of ink. Slump is the exception. I don't understand what happened with Slump. If you're going to face something like Slump that's been corrupted in some other way, I can only suggest lots and lots of firepower. There's nothing you can do ink-wise. Trust me, Slump is basically immune to any sort of ink-based sealing or unsealing or I could throw a fireball at Slump's face and he would eat it like a hot wing.
You can see Slump has had his face scrunched up for the last minute, and then he goes,
Hey, corrupted.
Slump has been changed in a way that might be for the better and become a better person, or maybe something else. Slump, you're wonderful and unique, and I don't understand you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, fuck it, I guess. I'm ready to roll and see what's these mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you've described is unbelievably worrying. It's only dawning on me now that maybe if something could happen to Slump, that something could happen to other people. And if that's the case, you've seen what Slump can do. And let me assure you that if you try to do something with ink against anything like Slump, it's going to be bad. You're going to need something much more physical. And as you can see from Slump, it's got to be a lot of physical. Like,
hey, Slump. If you were gonna fight a Slump, what would you do?
Slump would smash.
Probably.
Yeah, you would.
I've got 4 more requisition forms on my hack check. I can pop those open and start to just be like, well, Tom, what the fuck would you suggest? Like, what kind of shit's on here? Like, could I get us like 4 Blackhawks or something? Like, what kind of shit is on this list?
List is generally like personal arms, like upgraded personal arms. Like instead of like a fucking 9mm, it's got like a deagle on there kind of thing, or shit that you can't normally get.
So let's get like some fucking anti-material rifles, some 50 cals to stop trucks or something like that. If we're talking about fighting Slumps.
Okay, hold on. Tom kind of like puts his hands out a little bit. Hold on, Slump loves the cold, right, Slump?
Yeah, Slump love cold.
Yeah, Slump loves the cold. Slump doesn't do so well with the heat.
Yeah, Slump don't let the heat.
So maybe something to do with heat. If you could bring like
Kind of fucking old ass flamethrower.
Slump holds his fucking hand. He's just figured out old life.
Blankets.
Blankets?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's super breaking up bad. I'm sure it'll come back eventually, but I did hear blankets. And Tom
Does
says,
Discord work?
Oh yeah.
Hello?
yeah,
Can you hear me now?
You might have
Yep.
cut out though.
okay.
Did you say something after that? So Slump says blankets.
Yeah, and Tom says, "Oh, that's a really
I
good
still
idea."
don't hear anything.
Slump.
Do you guys hear it?
Can nobody
Yeah, I
hear
hear
me?
you. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
I hear you.
everything now. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he
Um,
says that's a good
robot.
idea.
It's just that's such a good idea, Slump. And if you could hug them with some big blankets, I think that would work. I don't think they're gonna want to be hugged though. I think
Well, everybody loves a hug.
everybody does love a hug, but these are bad people, Slump. I don't think they want a hug. I think you need like a fire blanket.
A fire blanket.
Yeah.
Blanket made out of fire.
Exactly, Slump. I think you need a blanket made out of fire.
Yeah, Mr. Flork.
Okay, Tom. We've been together for a
No,
year, Slump.
As soon as he says Tom, he thinks that that's what Tom was calling him, and he goes,
No slump.
No, I know you're Slump. I'm Tom. Slump. We've been together for a year. You know I'm Tom.
Oh yeah. Okay. Jake always say your name wrong, and then Slump forget. He get all confused.
That's okay.
Uh-huh.
I still love you, Slump.
Okay. Slump love Flork.
Okay, thank you, Slump.
How about like a fucking microwave cannon or something like that? Does that exist?
Microwave cannon, sure. Wait, hold on. Microwaves aren't heat, right? Microwaves are just microwaves.
yes.
They
Well,
make-
but
They create
the-
right? Like they create the heat.
Specifically, what they do is the wavelengths are such that they target water molecules and cause them to vibrate more quickly. That's what generates the heat. So they excite. They're specifically designed to excite water molecules.
Okay, but they don't actually
That's
produce heat
Yeah.
energy.
Correct.
Okay.
well, now when
Let's
you're
talk
saying it
more
like
about how
that,
Frankenstein-
But if you so if you're using the waves to target something that was made of water molecules, like that's why humans are 70% water.
Yeah.
You cook a human for that reason.
Exactly. But if you were to target something that had no water in it, nothing would happen.
Yeah. Correct.
So like something made out of ink, which is just energy and has no water, would
Yeah,
not.
it would do nothing.
Yeah, okay.
well, now I feel like a fucking dumbass because that's what I want, and that's all player knowledge, not character knowledge. So I guess I'm getting a big old 20-pound useless cannon that I'm just gonna fucking do
Yeah.
nothing with.
Yeah, no, you can for sure get yourself a microwave. I just wanted to know the specifics, but yeah, you can definitely order 4 microwave cannons.
I did say 4. On second thought, I got an old era flamethrower back at the old Haven. I can just, bring that no problem. Save us a sheet. Here, you guys pick stuff.
Okay, you guys all have a sheet
sure.
that you can requisition any sort of a military grade weapon from.
Slump wants to get a door smasher.
Okay.
Slump wants to get a door banger.
No, you
Bonk,
don't
bonk.
need you are the door banger. Stop.
He's already pressed the button and it's already been ordered for a big
No,
fucking
no,
SWAT style
no.
door banger.
Yay! Door banger.
No, I press undo. I press Control Z.
It says
Slump hits it 6 times.
your order should be here in 2 to 5 days.
We just cut it in
Yeah,
half
door
and put it on
banger.
his fists.
Can Slump order treats?
Slump just slides his hand across the interface.
I slap Slump as hard as I can in the face so it looks like a fly landed on his face. I'm like, no! Stop!
A
Slump.
little bit of skin moves, but that's about it.
Meanwhile, his eyes go wide as fucking basketballs, and you can see his bottom lip start quivering, and he just holds the side of his face.
We could have. You ordered. Listen to me. Listen to. I get like father figure angry. Listen to me.
What?
You could have ordered strawberries with that. Instead, you got a door banger. That's why I tried to stop you, Slump.
Can you order strawberries for you instead, and then Slump eats them?
I'll see what I can do. Give me that next time. Let me order for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. I think you still have a little bit of leftover mud in your pocket if you want that as a snack.
Slump reaches in and pulls out a few putrid fucking rotting noodles dipped in mud and just crams them into his mouth.
Yeah, it's like congealed mud. It's like dirt solidified around some really just gnarly noodles covered in lint.
Ew.
I was gonna save mine, but I would like to order as much like plastic explosive, like high density, low volume, like the biggest boom in the smallest package, and as much as they'll let me get.
Yeah, you can get exactly like one handful of this isn't like a like a la carte kind of fucking thing. This is like an item, and an item is like a fistful of plastic explosive.
Well, then, is there some kind of like kit maybe that I could make last a little longer and maybe add some of my own, ingredients to?
Yeah, you can get the fistful of plastic explosive, but you can definitely do something else to it to stretch it out if you'd like.
Yeah, maybe like add, put in a little box on the side, like, oh, I need extra fuses, I need extra detonators, I need the extra, spool wire. Blah, 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 blah. If they don't honor it, fuck them. I'll still get what I get, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you can fill that all in, and a lot like you're kind of ordering extras, I guess, for your armory or something, because you have a lot of these extra pieces at your armory. You just don't have the actual explosive.
Yeah, like super mill grade, high, big boom boom.
Yeah.
I'm just browsing the catalog, like.
Slump
it's got,
is looking over his shoulder, no idea how to read, so he's just looking at all the pictures.
And it's got like glorified soldiers, kind of like in that super fucking heroic man stance, just like shells flying everywhere. And it says like new Ultra Exterminator 2360, double the bullets, half the time, twice the kills.
I look for anything out of the ordinary. I don't care about guns. I don't care about armor. I'm looking for something unusual.
Oh shit.
I've been around the block as Galdrick more than times. I'm looking for something that I'm like, that's a new idea. It's something that's new.
Okay. Let's come back. Think of some
I'll let your
ideas.
keeper juices go nuts.
Oh,
That's
man.
what I want. I'm giving you the like.
Okay. All right. Let me think on that. Let's go to Lou. Lou, you can think of something while I try to think of something crazy for Galdrick.
Okay, awesome. Can I also ask Tom a question? Because I'll die if I don't ask it before the next session.
Yeah.
This is not related, but I need to know. Or how often? Listen, Tom. As we're ordering things, how often in your experience, does our buddy Slump need to eat?
Oh.
Always. All the time. 20 times a day.
Yeah. Slump.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, Slump feels like he needs to eat all the time, but I think what you're talking about, it's like once every 3 days kind of thing.
Right, yes. And how long has it been since we did
I think
our first Great Day get together? How long has it been since Great Day? You remember Great Day?
Yeah, it's been about a day and a half, I think.
Okay, so not today, but probably tomorrow Slump will need to eat. Is that what I'm understanding?
That would be a safe guess. Yeah, probably tomorrow Slump's gonna get hungry, and I would probably feed him.
Hungry.
Yeah, I would probably wait before then. Probably feed him before then.
Maybe we feed now. Maybe Slump get num-nums now.
All right.
I see what you're saying, buddy. That makes a lot of sense.
You know what? You're here. Why don't Slump? Would you like a steak?
Well, what?
Would you like a steak, Slump, or would you like something else? What would you like to eat, Slump?
Slump, like you can see Slump like thinking, and you know when in Lord of the Rings when they're talking to Gollum and he's like has like idea after idea, so he sort of his eyes go wide and then he puts on his thinking face, and then his eyes go wide and then he puts on his thinking face, and then his eyes go wide. and then he looks at he's looking around and he looks at Tom and he looks at Galdrick, and then you see his eyes go wide and this big fucking barrel head slowly turns and he looks at his bedroom and points at the door towards where Dr. Ick is.
Yeah. Slump.
Uh-huh.
No, you can't eat the person. You
Why
gotta,
not?
because he seems like he might have something more important than just being food.
He was rude to Teeny Todd.
Then I guess he's gonna be punished in the afterlife, Slump, but we can't do that now. I know. I will take his bananas away. How does that sound?
Yeah, take away his bananas.
I'll take
Bad
his
man.
bananas
Bad
away.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Slump wants steak. Or Slump gonna eat Tom.
Okay, that sounds good, Slump. One steak coming up. And
while we're pumping out slump food, though, the possibility of many slumps is what we're looking at.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it's not a familiar and it sounds like a monster, and Slump's the only time I've ever seen this happen. But I guess if it can happen once, it could happen again. So I don't know. Maybe it's more.
We just committed to the fucking idea to buy slump guns, so I think we're pretty, dug into this. So how much food are we gonna need of what type to sate a small fucking army of screaming slumps into mine?
You don't
Great idea.
you don't sate them. Listen, I want it. You know what? I want a scroll in the thing, in the catalog. And
Yeah.
just still sitting there scrolling. I want to see if there's anything that's essentially I don't know how to put it. Anti-crushing armor.
Anti-crushing armor. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, there's definitely I will say there's.
I want a building to be able to fall on top of me and I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't get.
Yep. No, I will say there are industrial grade, military grade mining exosuits that are definitely there.
4 sessions from now, we're all gonna be in fucking mech suit, shooting rockets and stuff.
Yeah. No, you full on. There's a full on Anthem style Colossus suit.
Oh my god, yes.
Ordered.
Says
That could be fun.
your order will be here in 3 to 7 weeks.
God damn it! Why didn't I get Amazon Prime?
We noticed you're a TAC Prime member. It'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, thank God. Now I can spend my TAC Prime on any Twitch stream.
Okay, Lou, did you have something that you wanted to order? We got 1 microwave cannon that may or may not be useless. We've got 1 door breaker that may or may not be useless. We have 1 Anthem Colossus suit that probably won't be useless.
I mean, I do want to order a thing, but I also have another question that I really want to ask.
Yeah,
Who cares
absolutely.
about weapons, but there's information. Am I right? Am I right, everybody?
Learning, the power of learning.
The more you know.
Knowledge is
so in
power,
character.
and knowing is half the battle.
Yep.
So true.
G.I. Joe.
Say.
Trademarked. Please
Yep.
don't sue me.
Trademark.
You don't want those G.I. Joe lawyers coming after you.
G.I.
They're
Jeff.
the worst ones. Yeah. I just want to tell Tom about the premonition I had, and say, and then that brought to mind the whole slump eating thing because of the hospital. And don't worry about that. Why it brought it to mind, but it's not related. Don't worry. But also, it just went completely dark in there. It's not like there was no light. It was like light disappeared. There was no possibility of light within that building. Does that sound like anything you've heard of?
That does sound like it could be a couple things. To the hospital. What's in a hospital that they would want?
Lots of people, equipment.
People was my first idea too, because there's death and destruction in phase 1. It makes sense. That seems like a likely target. There's a couple things it could be. I don't know which one it could be though. I guess I don't.
Fucking food for the army of slumps.
That's just it could be that. The darkness. I don't know though. That's, I guess, watch out for the hospital. I don't know what to tell you. Do you want to just wait in front of the hospital? I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. It sounds bad, guys.
Well, I agree. Jeez.
But we're gonna be okay, right?
Yeah, Slump, we'll be fine. Don't you even worry about it, Slump.
Okay.
Guys, you really, I don't know though. That sounds really bad.
You know what? Maybe is this crazy? But okay, is there any kind of thing that could combine light for both kind of situations? Like we want to blast the inside of the hospital with light, maybe. And maybe there's some kind of like light energy that would feed the slumps but not hurt us, like maybe ultraviolet, like a tanning booth. Can I just like give him a tanning booth?
Fucking grow light gun.
So anything of high energy is definitely a good thing. If it's hot, that's a bad thing. So it would have to be a very cold, high energy thing. There are definitely like cold fusion flashbang grenades or extended flashbangs meant for like if you want to go in and keep them blinded, you can put on special goggles and go in while the light's going off. And it just continually emits like this incredibly brilliant bright light and causes no heat. That's definitely, they're like super flashbang grenades.
What about like a big handheld fucking strobe light?
Yep, that exists too.
Oh, part.
But like, because the monsters like cold, right? So they want the heat. I mean, like we want the heat because the monsters do not. Is that right?
It depends
Yeah,
on what
that's
you
right.
want. Heat's going to drive them away. Cold's going to make them come closer.
Oh, and what do we have so far? That's a good point. Maybe we need something that like brings them all together so that the other people's weapons can be more effective, kind of thing. What's the other stuff that we have? We have a
Microwave
Shit
cannon.
to make a bomb.
We have a microwave cannon, an exosuit, and a door banger. So basically, no one has fulfilled even half of that yet.
okay. I think then I just want fire, like hot heat. Hot heat.
Like an incendiary grenade? Like, do you want the light still, or do you just want heat?
I want the light still. But is it going to destroy the hospital if I also put it off in the hospital?
Fuck them.
If
It's
I-
worth it.
These are military grade
Goddamn.
things. These are not meant for consideration of collateral damage. These are definitely
Oh,
meant
I'm
for.
so worried about burning down a hospital. Never mind that slump fucking ate somebody.
Yeah.
I have a flamethrower you can borrow.
That's nice. Thank you. Okay. Then yeah, let's wait. This is in character that Lou is waffling all over the place because she's a super anxious girl. And she picks I want to pick a thing that will gather them all into one little area. I feel like that's probably going to be good. It's like a cold thing.
Okay, so a cold with lots of light.
Yes to both. Yes to both. Yes.
Okay, yep, no problem. It's like a prolonged cold flashbang that just spews an incredibly brilliant light. So you know that essentially what you're going to do is you're going to pop the cork on this fucker, toss it in, and it is going to blast light, and it is a cold fusion, so it is going to be a source of cold, but the light is going to go on for a very long time. And you will not be able to look in the area that it's in while it is going off. Just so you know.
Would the cold hurt us?
No.
Okay, so the only thing that would be detrimental to us is how light it is, given that we couldn't see. Okay.
Exactly.
But I could put it off like at my feet if my eyes were closed.
Yep, absolutely. You can put it off at your feet, no problem. It would be a very cold thing if you were to pick it up. But as it is, you could be near to it, no problem. It's mostly just a source of light, and it happens to be very cold.
Oh, okay, cool.
Can I just say how proud I am of you guys to be preparing so hard for this next adventure?
When you warned us,
We're
pretty good
still
that
gonna
we'll
run
fucking
in.
die no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Making good on that advice.
Yeah. Awesome. You guys have the requisitions, and as you're talking to Tom about the things you've decided on, you get a text from Kirby who says, a bunch of shirt just showed up, and it says it's for you, but I don't understand how you could have ordered all this. Is this yours? And then there's like 4 pictures attached.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna look at the pictures. I'm just gonna hey Tom, give me a thumbs up real quick, Chief.
Tom's like, okay, and he gives you a
I'll
thumbs
just
up.
snap a picture of him real quick, zoom in, crop out anything that might be in the background, and just send him a picture of Tom with a thumbs up and say like, oh yeah, no problem, Tom and the sheriff have this all figured out, you know. Smiley face emoji kind of-
Damn. All right. I don't even want to roll to manipulate someone. I think that's fucking solid. I love that. You just get like a text from Kirby that says and then you get a strawberry text, a strawberry emoji, and he says, sorry, okay, sounds good, it's ready for you whenever.
I'll just send him the okay hand and that's it. Hey guys, fucking Glamazon Prime got it. Dropped like drone drop. That shit's all.
All right, it's ready for you to pick up if you'd like it.
I mean,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I guess
Well, what's
actually
going on there?
more importantly, where are you heading after that? I don't want to send us all over to the sheriff's office just so you can be like, oh, we got it. Now what? Where are you guys heading after that?
I would, to the mine. That's what I was gonna say. Unless there's some way we can pry some more information out of Kirby, if there's something else we can do to prepare. then,
Kirby sends a text that says, please don't ask me any more questions. I don't know anything.
I'll respond with another okay hand. Ask him if he can just like put all the boxes outside and we'll just pick them up.
Yeah. There's a picture of them outside, taken very obviously from like Kirby's desk. So it's like through the window outside.
Sure, I guess one of them is a fucking robot suit.
Yeah, one of them is a
big
huge
property.
box on a pallet with all these straps holding it down.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to vroom vroom toot toot. Let's pick up our
Let's
shit.
do it.
All right, and you guys are going to the mines then, right?
Yes, fuck yeah.
yeah.
Down at the very bottom of the map. So I will say that you guys go to the sheriff's office and you get a very cordial, hesitant wave from Kirby at his desk, who like kind of shrugs like, I don't know, I got a lot of paperwork, and then very obviously kind of shuffling papers around, and then like he kind of gets up from his desk in a huff and he's like, I don't know, I gotta go deal with the things in the storage room, and then he kind of like walks out of line of sight. And you see this huge box with on a pallet, wooden crate that's normal person height plus a couple feet, with all kinds of straps and shit holding it together. There is one very long crate, very conspicuously bazooka shaped crate. And then there is an ever so slightly smaller bazooka-shaped crate, and there is a like a black briefcase with like a tack symbol on the front.
Okay.
And the briefcase has the flashbangs in it. The smaller bazooka has the door banger. The bigger bazooka has the microwave cannon, and the exosuit, as you disassemble the crate, is there. And it's maybe just a little bit too big for Galdrick. They didn't really account for a person that was quite that short. So like you can operate it, but you kind of got to stretch your legs. You're like kind of operating the feet with your toes and you're operating the arms with like the tips of your fingers kind of thing. So you can work it, but it's not very comfortable. And like
a
you got
4-year-old driving a car.
Exactly. You got to really kind of crane your neck up to see over the dashboard of the front of the suit kind of thing. So it works, but it's not great.
Fantastic.
I'm going to give you +2 shield because this thing's a fucking beast. But I'm going to give you, when you roll to kick some ass, you're going to get a -1 to whatever that is. I think it's plus tough. And it's only when you roll to kick some ass. I'm going to give you a -1 to that because it's hard to fucking control this thing.
So I've got a question, I guess. I have a workshop.
Yeah.
Over time, could I like bespoke the interior to Galdrick's freaky proportions?
Fuck. I will say 100% yes. Not this time, unless you guys want to like take a couple days or something. But I will say after this mission, you can definitely start retrofitting this thing. If it survives the mission, you can start retrofitting it to fit Galdrick.
What do you think? Should we go in just like this, or should we take the extra prep time?
I mean, I think we should fucking get eyeballs on whatever this shit is. 'Cause,
Oh,
I mean,
fair
what
enough,
are we gonna
yeah.
prepare for?
Yeah, I think that's fair. And if it turns out like it's going to be something that's going to give us some real trouble, then we can back out, ideally. If you guys don't fuck up and try to open a door and fall all over yourselves.
Okay.
You guys.
I seem to remember 2 people specifically.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's in character. I'm gonna keep doing that forever. On my first level up, I even have this plan. There's a thing called like, don't worry, I'll check it out. So it's meant to go off by yourself.
Oh no.
So we're good.
Okay. So then you guys find yourself at the entrance to the mines.
What does it look like? I think your mic might have turned off if you're still
No,
talking.
he's changing the music.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Oh, yeah.
All right, so you find yourselves at the entrance to these mines. You had to travel a little ways west of the town, but not too far. This is one of the closest mines of the town, to the town. It was one of the founding mines that allowed the whole town to be built. And as such, it's pretty close to town center. You get there, and there are these rolling hills. And I guess you guys went there in the morning, right? I guess probably more like midday by the time you guys had picked up all your shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the hills, you can hear kind of groaning and howling. It's very far away, but it's so bassy that it carries. And inside the mines, you can hear the same kind of thing. You guys should have control over your units. And whenever you would like to move a bit, you just let me know. As you look into the mines, there's a couple large boulders and beam supports kind of holding the entrance up. But it is old. It is very old. And Yeah, it's very old. There's no signs of recent use really. There's maybe there's a bit of disturbed dirt at the entrance, but nothing to suggest that this is a frequented mine.
I don't know if I'm seeing it. I just see black.
Yeah, the stuff on your
don't see anything
stream
either.
we're not seeing. I just see
Yeah.
like a couple of grid spaces at the bottom. That's
Hold on.
I mean, even if that's the case, that's okay. We can just look at the stream and say where we want to move based on that, and then Tech can move us. Unless he's got a fix for it.
You guys aren't
I see nothing. I just see a black square.
even at the very, very bottom?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm zoomed all the way out. I see nothing. Do you have
How about
is it
now?
hide or is it fog of war?
Oh, there's something for me. I see I don't see what I can see on your screen.
Yeah, I'm pinging where I
Yeah,
see.
but I see the bottom below it.
Yeah, I think you got the fog rolling. I think.
Oh shit! How do I turn the fog off?
You can use reveal. It should cut through fog of war. Hey, there we go. We're done with the bottom.
Oh shit!
There you go. This looks like the bottom of a. Never mind.
Holy shit.
Geocock.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is actually technically 10 o'clock, guys.
Oh, snap.
So, I think this is a good place to call it. You're just about to enter the Maddox Mines. You are standing in front of this very old, decrepit, very creepy looking mines where you're hearing howling and growling from the surrounding hills and from deeper in the mines. And there's a very spooky soundtrack, and you're all very scared. And I guess next time, and you're very well equipped, extremely well equipped. And I guess next time you guys will dive in.
Nice.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
Awesome.
games, guys.
Thank you guys
boys.
very much.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.